MyMilkCratemarauder.
Don't know where I'm going when I go there. He doesn't say, come on, I'm going to talk about apples or pears. I never knew the subject matter. Unless he would say, hey, Pat, Howard's mad at you. I said, fuck him, I'll come down and we'll argue. So, but it was good radio. Because I'm never stuck for words. It comes natural.
Pat is a genius. He really is. He's a brilliant, brilliant guy, but to the point that he's self-destructive. But, you know, for a self-destructive guy, he's done show business his way, and he's always made a living, and, you know, he's okay, and he's welcome on my show anytime.
Pat Cooper, I loved listening to it on the Stern Show, because what made it so hysterically funny was that it was all true. I mean, he's out of his mind, and he's filled with so much venom. And, like, his family would call in, his mother and his daughter, and he'd be cursing them out on the air. Because I know Pat Cooper, and I know he's nuts, so, and he hates people. I remember standing with Pat Cooper one time at an event, I think it was the Friars Club, and from across the room, John Lovitz walked in. And, you know, I'd met him, perfectly nice guy, everything, but leave it to Pat Cooper, and he sees him, and he yells at me, he goes, oh, there's John Lovitz. Guy's got the personality of my cock.
Pat is one of those guys that is, he's like a hand grenade, you know, with the pin is always out, but it never reaches the 10 seconds. I mean, it's just like he's just about to blow, and he's always venting. And the stuff he did with his family on Howard was most amazing, priceless, wild, bizarre radio.
I don't think Pat was none too thrilled with all these people. And, you know, it's like, I think when you saw the drama unravel, you began to see why Pat and his family weren't getting along. It was truly dysfunctional shit at its finest. You know, it's like we all have family feuds, but most people will probably not have the courage to say bad things about their mother or their son or whatever on the air for the risk of looking, I don't know, less than human. But you know what? Pat let it all hang out, and it's all to his credit.
Who this?
You have Pat's son on 260?
Yeah.
No.
All right. We got Pat Cooper's son.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, now just relax, Pat.
I'm not, go ahead.
This is a very exciting moment. All right.
Go ahead.
Now, you say you're Pat's son?
Yes, I am.
I recognize his voice.
That's him?
Yeah.
That is your son?
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
Okay.
All right. Now, wait a second. This is a big moment.
Now, you got to ask I want you to answer the questions of what Howard Stern's going to ask you, Mike.
Okay.
And listen to me.
Yeah.
You be honest, and whatever on your mind you say.
Okay.
And you're not offending me, because I respect your right to say what you want to say.
All right.
Okay?
Yes.
What went wrong between you and your father? Why are you not talking?
I don't know why other divorced people have divorced parents and they talk together and the fathers still bother with their kids and they're close with their children. Whatever happened between me and my father seemed to happen between my father and the rest of the family also. I can't understand what happened with the relationship between my father and I never really knew my father, even growing up. Now, if that was a result of my mother and his problem, that might have been.
Mike, didn't you ask your mother, why is my father so bad? Don't you ask questions?
Yeah, but
say, why are you put, hold on a minute, Mike, and I'll give you a chance to talk.
Okay.
Why are you putting my father in the toilet, Ma? Let me make my own decisions. I'm an adult now. And I don't dislove you, Mother. I love you dearly. But I must let this man know that he's not wrong, Ma. And if he's my father and I'm proud of him, I want everybody to know it. Because my father became successful with only 2 weeks high school, Mother. How bad can this man be? And again, I love you, Ma. But you got to explain this to me, Ma. Why? Why didn't you teach us a little better?
So what do you say? Someone's disrespectful to you?
What? You ask the question. 13, your mother says I'm a bum. 14, I'm a bum. Now you start to shave.
Right.
Now you start to say, why is this man a bum? He's never, what did he do to hurt me?
Right.
So if I sent your mother $40, that's what the judge told me to send.
So maybe, but maybe he was afraid to ask you.
Now, you don't be afraid of a man. I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to shoot him. I'll say, I want to bring my father here. I want to know. I want to know that there's two sides of his story. Hey, if I'm wrong, I have a right to defend myself. Like I gave my son today a right. I says, hey, my kid's got a right to defend himself. Right. And I want him to tell the truth. If they think I'm a skunk, I want to hear them say it. Then I say, okay, if I'm a skunk, tell me why I'm a skunk.
So why is he a skunk?
This is the thing. When you're younger, if...
Cop out.
Okay, let me talk now. So now it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
if your mother or your family has an influence on you when you're 8 and 9 years old, all right, maybe they did. I don't agree with him saying that they constantly called him a skunk. Yeah, they were aggressive. I heard bad stories on both ends. But when I got older, when I was 15 and 16 years old, then it was up to me to see and to decide where the aggression, where it came from, and what's going on. Is he really a bad guy? I should get to know my father. I should go there. I should see. I should be around him. I want to get to know my father. I don't know who my father is. So what was ever said, I went around to find out about my father. And like every kid at 13 or 14, Daddy, get me this. Daddy, I would like this. Daddy, I would like that. I was a kid then. I always asked my father for things. I wanted to get something from my father that I could say, my dad gave me, or affection, anything. My father made his own impression when I became 15 and 16 on me. Not what my mother said or what my grandmother said or what my aunt said. I'm a 32-year-old man now. I don't have to listen to anything that they say. They don't have any influence on me. It's up to me. It's
if they had no influence on you, Mike.
I can't get close to my father if the world depended on it. Because of my father.
Right.
Period. That's what he doesn't seem to understand. Yeah, when he came around, I asked him for a few things. But you show me any other son who never did.
Well, this is kind of sad. You know what it is? Sometimes the kid is...
Sad. Well, that's the thing about it now. It is sad because we're both two men now with no more, I'm not a kid anymore. And
you know what it is? You know what it is? You see how I'm looking at it? They got their juice out of the orange already.
Right.
Now I'm 32. I'm a man. Let's forget about that. And let's forget that you have feelings and that you worry. Let's forget about it. Start new.
But a kid is a victim.
But wait a minute. A kid is a kid.
I understand, Robin.
But a kid's a victim.
Robin,
you know what I mean? I feel like Oprah.
Hurt.
I feel like Oprah, Pat.
You know, Pat's upset about what happened to him. You got to understand that he went through a bad deal there.
Yeah. See, Pat's
and
hurt.
Unfortunately, you were
a victim of circumstances.
I'm hurt because people come to me that know them and say, how can you be so bad to these kids? They're so good. I'm not saying they're not good, but why am I the bad guy? I'll go and do a show at some damn club or something. I'll always get somebody that says, I live next door to your ex-wife, or live next door to your mother or your father or your sister, and all they got to do is say nothing but nice about you. So wait a minute, what have I done?
You see that, Robin? But what does that have to do with me? Nothing.
Has a lot to do with you because you stand there, Mike.
How do I know this is going on?
Mike, you make a decision, and you tell these people, whether you hang out with them or not, they're still your family, and you tell your mother, your sister, your uncle, your aunts, or whoever, back off. Don't you embarrass my father, and if you don't like it, he's my father.
How do you
Kiss
know
my
I don't
ruck.
say that?
Kiss
How
my
do you
butt.
know I don't say that?
Because I know you're not the kind of guy to do that. Because you go which way the wind shifts.
You don't know what kind of guy I am because you haven't been around for 32 years.
That's
you don't know who I am.
I haven't been around for 32 years.
You don't know who I am.
Mike, I've been in your company many times. Yes, I know who you are, Mike.
No, you don't know who I am.
absolutely do.
Well, how do I get you guys on the right track? How do I get you guys on the right track?
That's the problem. He doesn't know who I am. He thinks he knows who I am. I'm a changed human being. I change every day.
You change every day.
I'm not the same person that he thinks I was when I was 14 years old. I don't care what they think about my father. It's what I think about my father, not what they think about him.
So you like him, though, right?
I don't dislike him. I never disliked him. But he
it
never
sounds like
gives you
neither
a
one of
chance.
them knows the other.
So, Pat, how do I resolve this? I get you guys together?
Let's introduce them, Howard.
All right, let me introduce them. See, I think your dad's great.
He's a lot of fun.
He's a lot of fun. Now you're 32. You guys can party together.
You got to forget all that other stuff.
You got to drop all
Ground zero.
Here's what happened. You know what it is? In a divorce, the mother always bad raps the father.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Tell my father. I don't think he realizes that.
I do realize that. I said that earlier.
And then as a kid, you get scared. You get poisoned.
Right.
You start to
You
think,
already have a broken family. If you don't side with your mother, maybe you get put out.
It sounds like your son's a very nice guy. And he doesn't
I'm
look
not
like
saying he's not a nice
He's not looking
guy.
for a handout.
But you see, that was the way it was all the time. Gimme, 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 gimme. Now, let me tell you something.
That was
I'm the
the only
easiest
way
guy
he
to
knew
give
to
money
ask
away.
for
I love to give money away.
love,
But I don't like to be made a fool out of. I like to give a person money, and then they walk away, sorry, what else is new?
Right.
There's got to be some substance
In other words,
there.
when you were sending the money, the kids were getting older. They could have thanked you.
But it's never enough.
But you know what
It's never
teenagers
enough.
are like,
It's never
Howard.
enough.
Yeah, but as a kid, if you saw you could get money, you'd always want to get
That's
money.
right, and teenagers are always going to make you feel
If
bad.
I was in a gutter, which I was close to the gutter, I never would call my father money. Give me I wouldn't give him the satisfaction.
When I was a kid, that was important to me. It doesn't matter to me now. All I need is time, affection, a little relationship with him.
He wants a kind word. He wants a relationship.
I want to know what I done to any of yous.
Well,
That
I
just
don't
treat
know
me
what
like a second-class citizen.
I don't know what happened when I
Well, but you're 32 years old. Don't you ask questions? It's still your family. Your mother's still your mother. Your grandmother's still your grandmother. Don't you ask questions? Don't you go over your grandmother and grandma? Why do you abuse your own son? Your only son? What is wrong with you?
Well, I figured that's for you and her to figure out. That's your mother.
Now, what would it take for him to get back in your good graces?
I don't know, Howard. I don't think we're at that point in the negotiation.
Robin, he's not in my bad graces. There's no bad graces.
You know what I mean. You're not feeling good about it.
I don't feel good about it. I'm sure he don't feel good about it, see? No, you know what it was? As long as things were good at that time, we don't have to call my father.
We don't become adults.
Once you're on your own and your mother ain't going to help you anymore, let me go to my father.
Right.
Now I become the other side. Now you don't want to talk to his mother, maybe. Now I become the father.
Yeah, but not everybody's a good diplomat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But do you love your son, Pat?
15 years old.
I love, absolutely.
You do love your son.
Then say that to him.
Yeah, you say you love him.
I love him, but I don't like him.
Oh, boy.
Don't leave that one out.
Oh, wait.
No, but no, I think you know what I'm saying, Robin.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All right? That's the point. I tell him I love him.
Say, Mike, I love you.
Mike, I love you. This is
Mike, I love you.
Well, I've never heard that before.
All right, so maybe you may never hear it again.
I'll just have to call the Howard Stern.
Well, look at the answer he just gave me, so I don't know if I'm going to hear that before. Look, all of a sudden now, he wants me to get on my knees and kiss his ass. I ain't going to do it.
Right.
I don't give a damn who he is.
Right.
For what?
You know what? There's no honest feeling from that side.
All right, but wait a second.
No. See, what happens here is he doesn't know how to accept love, Pat.
Okay.
See, you say, I love you, and Mike doesn't know what to do.
Who are you, Donahue?
Mike, you now have to turn to your father. Do you love your father?
I do love my father.
Hey.
Why could you say, Daddy, I love you too?
I love my father, but I don't know my father.
Listen, whenever your mother said it, I defended you. I said, don't ever knock your mother. I don't like it's not right. But your mother never said that to you. Your mother said he's a bum, and you never defended your father. Whether you were 18, 17, 14, 13.
I know. You know what I did.
Oh, I know. Mike, I get people come over to me when I'm working and tell me, man, I hear stories. I want to throw up.
Oh, come
All right.
on. People talking? They don't live in my house. They don't know what I say.
Mike.
Sounds like a good kid.
I'm not saying he's a
They don't know what I say.
I'm not saying he's a
He doesn't know what I say because he doesn't really know me. He only goes by what other
That's
people say.
That's the cop-out. He don't know me.
It would be nice if they
I
got to know
think
me.
they'd like to have a dinner together.
How about a dinner tonight? I'm me.
I'm always in New York all the time. I tried to get to his apartment last time, and he told these people, told me not to come by.
Wait a second.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Well, they told me
that's a lie. I don't care what they told you. I'm going to tell you. No, back off. I'm going to tell you what happened. The people that went to your place where you sell the flowers, they put 2 cents into something that didn't belong to them. And they told you where I live, and I told them, wait a minute, I told them to mind your business and keep out of my personal life. So when you came by, they opened the window and saw you, and what did they say? Your father said he's not in, or your father's not in. They knew I was in, because you know why? They told me 2 days later that they told you. So don't tell me that I brushed you.
Now listen to me. This is terrible, because I love Pat, and this son sounds very nice.
Yeah, very nice boy.
You know what it is, Pat?
Yeah.
I don't think that you guys can get together because
so much water under the bridge.
But it seems to me they'll let bygones be bygones. Maybe the kid screwed up a little. Maybe you screwed up a little.
What did I say an hour ago? I said, I think I'm a fair man. I said,
hey. Says you're not a skunk?
No, but I'm saying, I said to you, if they want to come on here and talk this and talk that and talk this and talk that, fine.
Has he got a right to defend?
No.
He hasn't gotten to you?
Not even close.
What does he have to say?
He don't have to say nothing. I just say, like you say, forget about it. There's no sense of rehashing old eggs. You got your beaten. Shut up. Now we start off fresh. The scars are gone, Pat. You got your beaten. We beat the daylights out of you. Now it's a new life. I'm 32. Now we'll wipe your scars. How do you get rid of when you're in a room for $8 a week and nobody cared about you and nobody called you? Your mother, your father, nobody gave a damn. Your sisters who's telling you, I love Jesus Christ. He's my savior. What Jesus do you know? The guy I knew was a hell of a nice guy.
In other words, if you had received a letter even in those
Nothing. They can't die, you animal, but you gotta pay my support and you gotta give me my teeth fixed, my glasses fixed. I die. And the minute you made it big, you killed them because they can't handle your success. Now they want to be your friend. Now they want your love. Now it's too late.
That's why I haven't tried, because I get to the same dead end every time I try. So after a while you say, the hell with it. Why bother trying anymore?
How will it happen, though?
I'll call him.
You will call him?
Me at the florist.
Publicly, I call him. I keep my word.
All right. Pat's going to call you.
I'll get in touch with you.
He's going to get in touch with you. I'm going to see you guys back on track. It's going to be beautiful. But I think progress has been made here, Pat.
Hopefully.
So. Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. It's good of you to call in.
Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whew. Well, I'm glad some families can get back together. Yeah.
I fixed that. Well, Pat's exhausted.
Oh, boy.
Really?
It's never a dull show, is it?
I'm telling you.
Gee, this is a series.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Pat's daughter is on the phone?
Oh, my God.
Here we go.
It's really Pat's daughter? This is unbelievable, Pat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This is radio at its best.
At its best.
Oh, forget it.
This is Pat's daughter. He hasn't talked to her in 12 years.
Is my father there?
Your father is here. He's with us on the air.
Okay, I'd like to know what he'd have to say to me after 12 years.
Okay.
I don't have nothing to say to you after 12 years.
Well, I think I have a lot to say after 12 years.
Well, you can say anything you want, and I respect your right to say it.
Okay, very good. Well, I resent the fact that in your acts you make demeaning statements towards my profession.
I don't make demeaning statements against your profession. Because,
Okay.
hold on, wait a minute. When I do comedy, I'm not doing you. I'm not doing my mother. I'm not doing my father. I am doing comedy. And if you take it personally, you got a problem.
No, I don't have a problem with taking it personally. I feel that it's a disgrace that you use your family to make your money.
I
really
use
think
my
it's a
family to
disgrace.
make... In other words, if Bill Cosby is a disgrace that he talks about his kids.
No,
So
but I
Bill
think that
Cosby...
Bill Cosby did a little bit more for his children than you did for your children.
I did
But-
everything I was supposed to do, and I did it with a smile, and I did it well, and I've got nothing but proudness in my brain, and I am not guilty of anything wrong, and I will tell you one thing, I just feel bad because you blew a hell of a father.
I blew a hell of a father.
Yes,
you were
you
never
did.
there for me.
No,
Can
you
I
know
tell
why?
something?
You know why,
Can I tell
honey?
you something? If
Yeah.
you were my father,
Yeah.
I paid for my whole college education.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm
right.
supposed to do. Did
You're
your
supposed to
stepdaughter-
pay
Did your
for...
stepdaughter pay for her own college education? I doubt it very much.
I don't have a stepdaughter.
You constantly make ridicule of my profession.
I don't make
my
ridicule
job,
of your
where I
profession
have to
because
go,
I'm not
what I
talking...
have done.
No. I want to show you how people think. They don't understand that you're doing comedy.
Right.
They don't
Why
understand.
can't you choose to do somebody else's comedy? And leave
Because
your
it's
daughter
none of your
out of it?
business what I do on a stage. That's my
Look, as
profession.
far as I'm concerned, you don't have a daughter.
I don't
You
want
have
you-
never
I don't want to have a
seen me.
daughter.
You have never done anything.
I
You
don't
have
want...
never
Oh,
seen
I've
your
never done
mother.
nothing. I know.
When's the last time you seen your mother?
When she asked me to pay the back rent that I didn't owe.
Now,
Is
hold
that
it.
a disgrace to do to your mother after how many
I
years?
am a
30
disgrace.
years?
Oh, you know something?
30 years ago?
You know something? For a school teacher, you have no common sense.
For a grown man, you have no common sense.
Ah, you're wrong.
This
You're
is-
wrong.
No, we're not wrong. It seems
You're
so
absolutely
strange
wrong,
that
my
the
dear,
family
because you
feels
don't
that way.
understand.
You don't talk to
You
your
don't
sisters.
understand that people don't live your life the way you want them to live it.
We don't want you to
Yes,
live
you
your
do.
life.
You want everything to be done the way you people want it, and it ain't going to happen. And don't tell me about my mother or about my father when you don't even know what you're talking about and
Look,
you're
I
out of
see your
order.
mother.
And
I
let me
see
tell you
your
another thing. Hold on a minute. I want to know
When's
where
the
you
last
come
time you
off,
spoke
where
to
you
your
come
mother?
off showing respect to someone who never hurt you, but you turn around and you're brainwashed,
You know
and your
what you did?
education
You
by you
supported
telling
me
me
with
that I'm making a
$65
fool of your profession. You ought to be
You
ashamed of
supported
yourself.
me with all your money with $65 a week. That's what you
That's
did.
what the court told me to give you if I'm making
$65
90.
a week.
If I'm making 90, love.
You weren't making 90.
I was
at the
making
time.
90. It's
No,
documented. Don't tell me.
$65 a week.
You know
10
something?
years,
I'm ashamed of
$65 a
you.
week.
I'm ashamed of you.
I'll pay for dinner.
You should only know half the stories that went on in our lives.
Wow.
Your
We're
life.
fed up with this nonsense.
No, you're
You
nonsense
come
to
out
say you're
smelling
fed
like
up.
a rose
You got to understand
all the
one
time.
thing. People got a right to defend themselves, my dear. Not only you got a
Yes,
right to
but can I
defend
tell you
yourself.
something? If
You
were
ought to be
right,
ashamed
you
of
wouldn't have to
yourself.
defend
But
yourself.
Yeah.
You would not have to defend yourself if you were a right gentleman.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
You
a
would
gentleman's
have to defend
gentleman.
yourself.
It's amazing. Everybody I deal with knows me and knows that I'm a
Deserted your
caring
family.
person,
For
except
my
the
whole
family.
life, you deserted
Yeah.
your family.
You guys aren't getting together here, are you?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think we'll ever get together, but I just want the whole
World, the world. No,
to know
it's only how many
that this
states?
man is really a phony.
I'm a
And
phony?
everything he
You ought to
says
be ashamed of
as
yourself.
a joke.
You ought to be
is
ashamed of
against his
yourself.
family.
Now, look at the ego. He's talking about
You know what
me
it
and
is?
my profession.
You're both hurt. That's all.
I'm not hurt.
I'm not hurt.
She's not hurt. She's a genius.
Right now.
She's mad because she had to pay her own way to college. How many kids paid their own way to college? Millions of kids.
Right.
But she wanted me to pay our way through college
No, I didn't want
and
you to
not
pay
show
your
you
way through
respect.
college.
And not
I
show
wanted you to
respect.
accept your responsibility as a father. That's
Hey,
what I
my
wanted you to
responsibility as
do.
a father,
Accept
I
your
paid my responsibility.
as a
I owe
father.
you nothing. We
You
got
should
it.
have accepted your responsibility.
Remember
as a
one
father.
thing, my
You
dear,
did not
my
accept
dear,
your
my
responsibility
dear,
as a
I
father.
brought this subject matter up. So if I had something to hide, I would have never put it in front of the American public. So don't con me with
I'm
your
not
nonsense.
conning you.
You are a
You
con
have
artist.
a lot of
You're a
vengeance
con
to
artist,
take.
and you ought to be ashamed of yourself when you don't know
let's not say
nothing.
that.
All right.
Let's not say that.
I'm very proud of where I have gotten today.
God bless you.
I
I wish you $1 million a minute. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thanks to you.
And don't leave no
no
pineapples at my door.
I can do whatever I want. I have brought myself. I've overcome all of your obstacles.
No, you never had an obstacle.
Today.
You don't know what obstacles
And
are.
I'm very proud of where I am today.
God bless you. I wish you $1 billion.
Does Pat have grandchildren from?
No.
No.
How do you know you don't have grandchildren?
I don't want no grandchildren.
How do you know if I don't have a baby?
I don't know and I don't care.
Well, see, you don't care. You
No, I don't care because I didn't care for the last 20 years.
I was just curious.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Do you want to find out?
What would you like to tell? What would you like me to tell your grandchildren about their grandfather?
Tell him he was the classiest man that was ever on the face of this earth.
And then my child would call me a liar.
No, your child would say to you, Ma, your child, first of all, why are you dropping pineapples off at the house? Off of my house?
I wanted you to know that I knew where you were.
So what?
And I could find you if I ever wanted to find you.
Well, I see. It's a threat.
Maybe, maybe it was like a peace offering. Peace offering.
She wouldn't know peace offering.
Maybe she was like, say, hey, here's a nice pineapple.
I was on my honeymoon, okay?
God bless you.
It wasn't a threat.
It was a nice thought.
I wanted to tell you, look, I have overcome so many things in my life. Despite all of this, you have all this posh house, all this stuff, but let me tell you something. I have a family which loves me, which takes care of me. Your mother loves me. I have never lost touch. I have the greatest grandmother in the whole entire world, and you're the one who's missing out on it. Let me tell you.
Honey,
family, my aunts have taken care of me.
Honey, God bless you.
Always given to me. Your sisters have always given to me.
God bless you.
You are the only one
because you're a
that has not
taker.
given to me.
Because you're a taker.
I'm not a
You're a
taker.
taker. You just went for 10 minutes of who gives you. Who gives you? You're a taker. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And don't flatter yourself that I'm talking about you.
I have chosen.
God bless you. Listen, Luann, God bless you. I wish you the best in the world.
Well, suddenly, Robin.
You want to jump in here and straighten this all out?
Suddenly, Robin, your family looks like the Love Network.
No, my family. Let me tell you
Pat,
something.
she might want my autograph if you want to give it to her.
I'm surprised my grandmother hasn't called up.
We're waiting for that. If we can hang on another.
No, my grandmother is very hurt over this whole situation.
Your grandmother is not hurt over any situation because your grandmother is for your grandmother. And your grandmother never gave her son anything to talk about that's nice. And your father mailed her a check. Your father mailed her a check for $5,000. Nice man I am, man. Where's the money? It's all you people know is where's the money.
You don't know your mother.
Goodbye.
No, wait, there's got to be a way.
Goodbye. Forget about it. No,
Well, obviously,
everybody's taking sides on this issue.
Well, you know what, Robin? I did bring your brother and your father together, but
someday I wish for you a peaceful death.
I wish for you a peaceful death too, honey. I wish for you a peaceful death.
Money will not be your
I agree with you.
Money does not buy happiness or health.
So you know what we do? You stay your way, and I stay in my way, and that's the way it's going to be.
Let me tell you something. I do say I stayed in my way for 17 years. You never gave me a damn thing.
I never gave you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. I don't got to give you nothing.
Entitled to.
Luann, listen, I'm sorry.
Look, Howard. Look, this is between us.
I got
This has been going on for my whole life.
Right.
You know, it's ridiculous.
I
want people to know the true story, the true thing.
Then tell it.
And I am telling the truth.
No, you're not.
I'm telling the truth.
No, you're not. You're not.
Can I tell the truth? You left me in the hospital when I was 2 weeks
I left you. Who told you that?
I was 2 weeks
Who
old.
told you that? Who told you that?
Let me just answer.
Who told you that?
Were you there?
Answer my question. Who told you that?
When I was growing up,
were
you there for any one of my birthdays?
No.
Did you ever give me a birthday gift?
No.
No. Were you there for my confirmation, communion, and graduation?
I was never there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You said you were never there.
Yeah, because you see the way your mouth is, that's why I was never there.
You were never
That's why I was never there, because you just showed your character.
All right.
You were never there.
Because you have no character.
All right.
But I was a child.
Goodbye.
I was a child.
Goodbye.
You were never there.
Goodbye.
Okay. Well, anyway, listen.
Okay, you know, it's not to be solved. He's a very hostile gentleman.
No. All right. From now on, be well.
He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk.
Be well. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All right. Okay, listen. So anyway, I want to listen, Luann. We better cut it, right?
I understand.
Okay, I understand too. All right. Oh, listen. Nice speaking with you.
Nice speaking to you too.
All right. I hope everything goes well in your life.
Me too, and I hope he sleeps well tonight because now everybody knows the true story.
Well, we could drop the animosity. You said what you wanted to say. Don't wish your father ill. Go live a happy life.
I don't wish him ill. I wish him the best in life. I've never wished him
It was
ill.
probably misunderstood. You know what it is? Probably your parents had a bad divorce, and I guess the kids
You got caught up in it.
Can I say something? How could I get caught up in it if I was 2 weeks old when they left?
No, I'm saying that the innocent ones are always.
Well, why don't you tell that to your mother? It's a two-way street.
I agree with you. What you
Didn't Crosby
tell this to your mother for half an hour. When your aunts jump me on the street, tell that to your mother. The bunch of animals jumping on the street.
You had nothing against us.
Goodbye.
Come on, everybody. Happy birthday to Robin.
Happy birthday, Robin.
Happy birthday to you. All right, enough of this.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like I took over the show. I don't mean to do this. I don't want to do this.
Do it again and come back in another week. If you got more kids, let them call in next time. Uh-oh, here's Gary. No.
What happened now?
Who is this now?
Who's left?
Pat's mother?
That's it.
Uh-oh. No, wait a second. Wait a second. Pat, do you want to talk to your mother?
Put her on.
Now, let's be calm
Everybody
about all
be
this.
calm.
Let's be calm.
Yeah, he's a wreck.
Hold it a second. Now, wait. Wait a second. How am I going to bring this family together?
This is a mess.
He is a mess. Can you believe a man talks about his mother and his family so much and made millions of dollars on them, and then he quits and he don't want to bother. He hates them. They're all after his money. You never tell the truth.
Can I tell you something, Howard?
In your
I should
whole
never,
life.
never have any.
It would have been better if you stabbed me.
See, now she wants you to stay. Now she wants to be the mother. Where was that? I didn't ask her to give me a loan, Ma. I need money from
God
you, Ma.
have mercy
Help me.
on him.
I didn't ask her. Ma, look at this. God have mercy on him.
Ma.
I don't want nothing from
God
them.
have mercy on
But I
him.
want to know one thing. They feel they got to get paid because you mentioned the word mother or father or sister or daughter. You have to pay them. Look what we made you successful, they telling you. They didn't help me in my career. They didn't care about my career, and I didn't care. That's okay. I made something of myself, and I speak well about my mother and father on the stage. I put words in my
Because
father's
you make
mouth that
money
he
on
never... Oh, look, did you hear what she just said? Did you hear what she just said? Because I make money on them.
On my life, you
Her
make
life,
money.
I made money. You never turned a saint upside down in your life, Mother, so don't con me.
All right, well, I
don't
can see I
con me.
can't...
I wish he'd tell the truth once in a while.
All right. I know.
I wish
I
he
have
would.
I have never lied, and I will not lie.
Yes.
And Mother dear, I wish you well. And may I say something? It's a shame because I'm an only son. And what did I do? Did I kill you? Did I shoot you? Did I rob
It
off
would've
you?
been better if
I
you
know
did.
people who turn around their sons kill people, and they want to sit in the electric chair for their son. I never asked you to do that. And don't tell me I didn't go to my father's funeral. I didn't see my father for 12 years. Why don't you talk about that? Where was he when I needed my father? There's your answer. So don't
You
con
still
me,
forgive
and
and
don't say
forget.
that I'm a bad guy. Oh, now you want me to forgive and forget. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed. I sent you the $5,000. Did you get your rent money?
Oh, yeah.
You got your $5,000 rent money. That was on your mind. Now, where's my son? Help me. Let me help my son. He's all alone. He needs
I
me.
brought
Where's
up
my
your
back
family
rent?
for 10
Where's
years.
my back rent, you said? And I sent you $5,000. So don't con me about, tell the truth,
you're a
Mother.
big sport.
Yeah,
All right.
I've never been nothing but a giver, Mother.
You're
I
a
never
big
took nothing
sport,
off
my
you.
son.
God help you. I wish you well.
5,000 for 10 years of my life.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I owe you for being born now. Oh, I see what it
10
is.
years of bringing
Oh,
your
I see.
children up.
All right.
You gave them
I'll
up.
send you how much I owe you
You
for food?
gave your
How much I owe you
children
for
up.
food?
I didn't.
How much I owe you for clothes? How dare you insult my intelligence, Mother dear? How
Oh,
dare
come
you?
on. Stop
I'm
acting
ashamed
so
of you
stupid.
that you even want money off anybody. You ought to be ashamed. What are you going to do with your money? Take it with you?
And I never will.
See,
You ought to
money
be
is a-
ashamed of
You're the
yourself.
one that worry about it.
I don't worry about it. I earned mine, my dear Mother. I earned it, and not
so
by
did
you.
I.
No.
So did I.
Then keep it. I don't want yours. Keep it. Give it to your grandkids. They deserve it.
All right.
So
Okay.
did I.
All right, Rob.
10 years
Happy
of your
birthday.
kids I took
All right.
care of.
But you're supposed to. You're a grandmother. You're supposed to. You're a grandmother.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like
That's your chore in life.
Everybody's supposed to. What about you?
I've done my thing. I did my duty. I did my
Where
duty.
is your duty as a father?
My
And
duty as a
and
father is not being bulldozed by my kids and not
cut
being
it out.
conned
You're
by
the
my
one
kids.
that bulldozes
Take your
everybody.
daughter-in-law's side. Take your daughter-in-law's side. You don't like men. You never like men. Anything with pants you can't handle. Remember that. Anything with pants. You're the man, the woman, and the family. Go to your daughters. Kiss your daughters.
All right. You could cut the love in here with a machete,
I'm
Robin.
telling you.
And I must say
And
that...
you're going to need that.
All right,
He's
Mr.
the
Caputo.
type he is.
Yeah.
He
All right.
can't control himself.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right.
He
Listen.
loves trouble.
Wish you luck.
I
You
thought
love
it was...
trouble.
Yeah, you're the trouble, miss.
You're the troublemaker.
Yeah, goodbye.
Well, what would you think if Pat dyed his hair black? Oh, never got to ask him that. Well, okay.
You know something, Howard?
Yes.
This is the greatest thing that
I've ever
ever
done.
happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't expect this day to happen like it was going to happen. For taking up all this valuable airtime.
No.
But I thank them. I thank them for calling. That's the end of that story. You ladies and gentlemen, Howard Stern fans, this will never happen again.
Who this?
When my mother came on the fucking air and I told my mother, you're full of shit and more or less words. How dare you insult me? And how dare you call me saying now you're background? That's great radio. I told Howard, can you do something? He says, what? Make that an album. Make it a fucking album. I'll sign right away. That's fucking radio. That's honesty. Because everybody loves their mother. They still talk about it. I got guys who copied that thing. They say, Pat, I play it over and over. What fucking radio? You didn't even bat an eye. Because everybody expected to go, oh, gee, ma, that's because she's full of shit. That's the problem. Not all mothers are great. Not all mothers are saints. There are a lot of mothers who are full of shit. There are a lot of mothers who hurt their children. So it happened on the Stern Show. It happened on the Stern Show. And you still play it, Howard.
Yeah, well, we knew that we had to do something with that audio, so I don't know who came up with the idea. Probably Howard. I mean, like usual, or Fred. The three of them, Howard, Fred, and Jackie, I mean, were an amazing team. Howard would throw an idea out, and Fred and Jackie would immediately throw a million things back at him. I mean, you know, to bounce off of them. So they were really quick and really geniuses, all three of them, to get stuff done that quickly and get it on the air. It was just amazing that they could come up with that material. You know, most people would sit around like, all right, Pat Cooper had a fight. It was funny on the air. It was great. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, you know what? Pat Cooper, All in the Family, you know. This was done immediately. I mean, it was like, you know, let's do this. Let's get it turned around and get it on the air.
This is my new concept for a TV show, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to shop this. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not. Yeah, why don't we do All in the Pat Cooper Family here? Okay.
Coming this fall, a brand new TV program. What do you get when you reunite an overly sensitive Catskill comedian?
Because it's none of your business what I do on that stage. That's my profession.
A son he hasn't seen in quite a while.
Kiss my ruck. Kiss my butt.
No, I don't say that.
Because I know you're not the kind of guy to do that. Because you go which way the wind shifts.
You know what kind of guy I am because you haven't been around for 32 years.
A daughter abandoned moments after birth.
You left me in a hospital. I was 2 weeks
I left you. Who told you that?
I was 2 weeks
Who
old.
told you that? Who told you that?
Let me just ask you.
Who told you that?
Were you there?
Answer my question. Who told you that?
When I was growing up, were you there for any one of my birthdays?
No.
Did you ever give me a birthday gift?
No.
No. Were you there for my confirmation, communion, and graduation?
I was never there.
And a mom who thought he was a bum.
On my life,
on her life, I made money. You never turned a saint upside down in your life, mother, so don't con me.
You get All in Pat Cooper's Family. Hear a father declare unconditional love for his son.
Mike, I love you.
Well, I have never heard that before.
All right, so you may never hear again.
He's a firm dad who knows how to discipline with a sense of humor.
Look, all of a sudden now, he wants me to get on my knees and kiss his ass. I ain't going to do it. Right. I don't give a damn who he is.
Right. For what? For what?
You see?
Sit in on the family finances.
With all your money was $65 a week. That's what you
That's
did.
what the court told me to give you if I'm making 90. If I'm making 90, love.
You weren't making 90.
I was making 90. It's documented. Don't tell me. Don't believe what you hear. You know something? I'm ashamed of you.
Financial advice that would embarrass H&R Block. Joel Siegel says it's a laugh riot.
Who told you that?
Liz Smith says you'll love Pat.
Who told you that?
Pia Lindstrom says it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street.
Don't miss the fun. It's all in the Pat Cooper Family. The story of an overly protective father.
To someone who never hurt you, I never beat you, I never killed you, I never took anything out of your mouth, but you turn around and you're brainwashed and your education by you telling me that I'm making a fool of your profession. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Love.
When your ass jumped me on the street.
Respect.
Oh, I owe you for being born now.
Honor.
How much I owe you for food? How much I owe you for food? How much I owe you for clothes? How dare you insult my intelligence, mother dear? How dare you?
Come on, stop.
I'm ashamed of you that you even want money off anybody. You ought to be ashamed. What are you going to do with your money? Take it with you?
And I never will.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You're the one that worry about it.
I don't worry about it. I earned mine, my dear mother. I earned it, and not by you.
So did I.
And keep it. I don't want yours. Keep it. Give it to your grandkids. They deserve it.
Love, respect, and honor. 3 words that can't seem to find their way into the turbulent Pat Cooper family.
As far as I'm concerned, you don't have a daughter.
I don't want to have a daughter.
You have never done anything.
I've never done nothing. I know.
When's the last time you've seen your mother?
Huh?
When's the last time you've seen your mother?
When she asked me to pay the back rent that I didn't owe.
Don't miss All in the Pat Cooper Family. You'll love it.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Who is this?
Milk Crate Marauder.
You stupid bastard.
All right, let me tell you what happened. Pat called Gary yesterday out of his mind. You were out of your mind yesterday.
Well, I was angry because I just can't believe what came down, that's all. And I said to myself, well, let me give Gary a call. I says, because I know you were semi-involved.
Right.
Because you went out on a limb and you made a situation that I thought was going to come out to be very, very, very nice.
Right.
And it became a real glob.
Right.
A glob.
Now, I think...
A glob.
I think I was set up.
All right.
I get a call from the Geraldo people. They'd like me to do a show with them with my son. And I said, fine. I said,
you don't care.
I said, be my pleasure. I said, want to discuss father.
Gee, I wonder where they get that idea.
Yeah.
I love Geraldo.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you where they got the idea. So she said to me, your son's a intern here. I said, really? I didn't know that.
I thought he works in a flower shop.
No, part-time.
Right.
So I said, I'm very surprised. The man, the young man never told me anything. Not that he has owed me, there was an explanation. I said, she never told me. I said, let me call him and find out what happened. Because we're doing okay. We had gone to dinner. We had gone to lunch.
Right.
We had a nice conversation,
Because if anybody remembers, I should have a little clip here to play for you, Robin.
You don't have a clip?
I don't have a clip. I should have a clip. But the last time, a couple of times ago when Pat was on, him and his son.
I know exactly. It was my birthday.
Right. Yeah.
So this was August.
I put together a birthday show for Robin, and Pat did a spectacular job. Right. You got to admit, it was the best birthday show ever. Show. It really was. Well, because it was your birthday, and I wanted to make it reflect like your family life. So anyway, Pat came on the show and had a big argument with his son, and I tried to bring them together. And actually, they went out to dinner together.
No, you did. It was, and I said, okay, fine. Hey, I got to try something.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
And you guys went out to dinner, and it seemed to work.
Yeah, it was working up until I get this call. But
Go ahead.
But now I'm not angry. I said to the youngster, I said, listen to me.
Now, everything was working, right? Yeah. You'd been seeing your son once in a while.
Calling up, I said, look, I can't, I'm on my way out of town. I kept including what was going on. I said, a little patient with me. I got a job. Everything's always, I understand. I don't say that. I said, fine.
And meanwhile, of course, you don't have a good relationship with your ex-wife or your daughter, but your son.
We put that aside.
We put that aside, and your son and you finally communicated.
I said, look, yesterday died. Let's go on with this thing. Try to get something. And I even said on your show, it's going to be very difficult for me to be your father, but if I can become your friend, something of this. It was on the tape. We've got
it was on the tape.
I remember him.
That's right. Okay, go ahead.
He says, well, why should nobody want to say nothing? I didn't think it was that important.
Right.
So I said, well, she said, maybe it's not important, but tell me something. I said,
all right, so now your son at this point, you find out, is an intern at Geraldo.
Now I get a call the next day from one of the producers.
Right.
They said, Mr. Cooper, about that thing, and we'd like to ask you some questions. I said, okay. I said, by the way, how did you get my number? She said, well, your son gave it to me. I said, okay.
Okay.
She said, no, we have the Geraldo tape here. I mean, the Howard Stern tape.
Yeah. They had a tape.
Yeah, I said, who gave you the tape? She says, your son.
Right.
She played the tape for me. I said, you're going to have to forgive me. I said, but this is starting to get me angry because what the hell? I said, why didn't the man tell me? I said, I would go on what he told me or not. I said, I got nothing to hide. I said, I'm trying. She said, well, we want to ask certain questions. She said, and I'll play the devil's advocate. I said, don't play the devil's advocate. I said, honey, just put me on the air. She said, well, we like you here in person. I said, I can't make it in person. You're going to have to forgive me. I said, because I got things to do.
Right.
She says, well, what about a remote? I said, wait a minute. All of a sudden I become a big star.
A remote?
To God.
A remote.
A remote. She said, wherever you are, we'll get you on the street. She said, I said, wait, why all of a sudden I'm a big...
Where's Geraldo been?
Right. So she says to me, well, can we depend on you? I says, here's what I'll do.
Right.
I will phone you. You tell me what time from where I'm going to be, because I was doing a thing called True Blue, and I didn't know when they were going to call me, where I was going to be.
What the hell is True Blue?
That's the NBC show.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, well, I just had a little cameo, anyway. But anyway, so she said, well, okay.
Come on.
Yep, okay, thank you.
There you go. Show business.
So she says to me now, very businesslike. She says, well, can we? I says, honey, I promise you, I'm a man of my word. If I tell you I'm going to call you, I will call you. And I call.
Right.
She says, well, we're going to go on, in a few minutes. She says, Pat, I says, fine. I'm anxious to get to this thing. I figure, well, we're going to.
And the subject is fathers and sons.
Fathers and
sons. But you
sons.
knew right in the back of your mind. But now you and your son were getting along.
Something's bothering me.
Right.
Because I told myself, now look out. Look out, don't let this guy buffalo you. But I said, now what?
Meaning Geraldo or your son?
My son. I said,
go ahead.
Well, maybe I'm out of order. I shouldn't do this. This is what gets people in trouble. Right. I should back off and shut up. It's going to be fine.
Right.
But wait a minute.
Because your son and you were
I'm going to take criticism, but that's part of the game. I can understand it. And I'm not gonna blow my cool.
Go ahead.
I said, all right. Now,
but wait a minute. Let me ask you. Did they complete a pre-interview? Did she ask you any questions?
Yes, she started to ask me, if you but nothing like, she said, so well.
Yeah, but obviously you knew that it was going to be.
Something is, I said,
they were playing tapes of our show, so.
I said to her, I said, honey, I hope you don't think me, I said, nuts in the brain, but something is rubbing me wrong here. You're making me all of a sudden like I'm a Paul Newman here.
Right.
I said, and all of a sudden I said, this, I said, I want you to ask my son why he never told me. Not again. She says, well, I will ask him and I'll let you know. I said, all right, fine, I brushed that. Well, maybe I'm getting
They're stroking you.
All right, now
and you would call your son and everything was cool.
But
and he never called
nice.
What does he call you? Daddy, everything's fine.
No, but I didn't question, did you have, I didn't question about that. I just said, why didn't you tell me about the Geraldo? And then we forgot about it.
You think your son set you up?
Oh, I know he set me.
All right, so what happened?
I know he set me up.
All right, well, wait a second. Now, hold it a second. I think at this point I should tell Pat something. Yeah. Shouldn't I tell Pat this? When we announced you were coming on this morning, guess who came down here?
Okay.
Your son.
Fine.
You want to see him?
Do I want to see who?
Your son.
Yeah, I'll see anybody.
You'll let him in here?
Well, it's your studio. What do you think?
It's up to you, but I don't want to feel like I set you up. Because he came down here. Barry told me he came down.
Listen, let me get my thing finished.
Yeah,
let's hear Pat's story. All right, let's hear Pat's story.
I understand.
All right, go ahead.
So I turned around and I said, all right, now we're going to go on the air.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Geraldo goes, Pat, are you there? Yes, I'm there. He says, well, listen, let me ask you a question.
In that lawyer style of his.
Okay.
Listen to this. This is how he's set up.
He says to me, well, your son has something to say to you. And all of a sudden, you abandoned me. I said, I abandoned you? Now I'm saying, wait a minute, am I hearing right? What do you mean I abandoned you? I said, and I started to lose my temper a little bit. I said, first of all, I said, how do you abandon someone you pay support for 21 years? I said, what do you mean I abandoned you? And you know what? My father said, wait a minute, I don't want to be your father. I truly and honestly don't want to be your father.
You should have hung up.
No. That's what they wanted to do. See, I was the only father that showed up. They asked 3 other fathers. And
who were the other fathers?
Jerry Van Dyke.
Right. Jerry Van Dyke.
Desi Yanez.
Desi Yanez.
The gentleman,
Desi Yanez is dead.
All right. No, Desi Yanez Jr., I'm sorry. And the other one was... Please, I don't remember. Anyway.
Okay.
So, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying...
Now, you had worked everything out with your son.
Now, I'm not reading all their mental because I'm trying to analyze and say, no, wait a minute.
So I feel his son was using it.
Did I do something to this boy?
Right.
If I did, I'm trying to analyze. I'm talking to Geraldo.
Right.
Now I hear one guy gets on the microphone and now here's what I hear next. If I was Pat Cooper's father, I'd spit in his face. And I'm saying... Wait a minute, spit in my face, hold it. I'm saying to myself, why ain't Geraldo saying, hey, wait a minute, we're doing something here.
Right.
How dare you say you're going to spit? Now, if I'm in the studio, I would have globbed this guy. I don't care who he is, he'd have to kill me. I would have killed. Right. So what if I, another woman married, I don't need your father. I'm saying, wait a minute, what happened to somebody defending my side? We have side.
Well,
and you're on the phone.
My side?
And you don't know what was
Jerry
said
Van
before.
Dyke's wife said, now, wait a minute. There are 2 sides to every story, she says.
Yes.
I said, Jesus, somebody's talking about him. Another guy said, another man on the panel said, my wife kept my kids away from me for 13 years, 11 years, and I cried every night. I'm saying,
now, you had explained to your son over lunch that you were kept away from the children.
I told my son, I didn't abandon you. I said, I was about 3 miles down the street. I did pay my support, what the law said. The law tells you, Pat, you got to pay this, you got to pay it. I never ran away from my...
Now, did you lose your cool on Geraldo? Did you start yelling?
I tell you what I said. I screamed it. I don't want to be your father. I said, you're a disgrace. I don't know. Every cliche, I don't remember what I said. I was so angry. Now I'm thinking, why did this young man do this? And why is Geraldo letting this man lie to them, saying that I abandoned? Now, abandoned to me means you disappeared. No. Nobody sees you.
Right. You paid support.
I was there all the time.
You paid support.
Along. Hey, I didn't see them. They didn't see me. Fine. That's one thing.
Right.
But don't say I abandoned, because now you got a war with me. And now...
Abandoned means you didn't support them.
That's right.
Right.
Abandoned means that you're out of the picture.
Abandoned means you're not there.
So, but meanwhile, I'm not...
Abandoned, you did not abandon.
Howard, I'm not coping here because I'm saying I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Why did you agree to go on Geraldo?
Because hey, I come on your show.
You knew you'd be upset.
Excuse me.
You knew he was going to shine
on you. That's okay.
You.
But wait a minute. I come on your show.
Right.
I open my mouth.
Right.
Did I tell my son or whoever was on it? I said, if you want to answer me back, please come back and defend it. Did I give it right? But I said to myself, I'm building a Jack story here. I'm accusing my son maybe of something he's not doing. I've got to go on this show. And if I get, wait a minute.
And don't you feel that your son went on there just to impress the Geraldo people? Because I don't know,
because I don't know what an intern does. I've said an intern, I was told, I don't know how true it is, that
an intern usually goes to medical school.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What do you, now, if you're taping a show,
right,
how do you get callers out there? You must know who you're going to get to call back.
That's right.
And I'm not sure, but the voice on there, I'm not sure. I'm saying, wait a minute. All of a sudden, everything is against me here, and I can't understand Geraldo not saying once, hey, wait a minute, this man came on our show, this man's...
No, he sets everybody up, Geraldo. He's a real scuzz, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I turned around and I said, well, I don't understand.
Right.
I don't understand.
He'll let you hang in the wind.
I don't care.
Right.
My son wants to call me anything he wants to, that's fine.
You want to let him in here? Because we can get this straightened out.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I want to find it. Now I'm angry.
Howie, can I do something? I'm making a statement now.
Okay.
It's over. this young man couldn't come near me anymore if God came off the cross.
There's no way he can explain this to you.
You can't explain it to me. You know why? Because I was the 2 days before, I asked him, is everything all right? Yeah, I said, well, why don't you tell me that you went on this show? Just tell me. I don't care. I was still when I want to tell everybody you're a bum. I would go on and say, okay, because I got to defend myself.
Right.
And that's the reason I went to Geraldo. No,
I agree with Pat. His son should have said, look, I still got a problem with you, and I'm going to discuss it on Geraldo.
Right. We went to the restaurant and lunch, and we went to look, listen, I'm so angry. So, okay, wait a minute. We'll crash it out, but don't tell me.
You're trying to work out a relationship.
Let me get your son in here. Let's tell him.
Hold on a minute.
You don't want to do that?
Yeah. But just
wait a minute. He has to finish.
I don't want to finish. Now, at the end of this particular thing, Geraldo said you got 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
No, all right.
How long were you on for?
That's your side.
I was on and off for about an hour. I paid the phone call.
Right. You paid the phone call.
No.
Yeah, I paid the phone call.
But you don't care about that.
No. So I turn around, and now this Jerry Van Dyke's wife says, we all got to understand there are two sides to it. So she repeated that. So I said, my wife turned around and...
She sounds like a robot, Jerry Van Dyke's wife.
Now, I said, Geraldo, I want to thank that lady for saying there's two sides to every story.
That's right.
The gentleman to say that his wife kept the kids away. And remember, I showed up. Nobody else did.
That's right.
I showed up. So that goes to show you my character. And I got character. And this young man ain't going to knock my character down. He's not smart enough. He's not big enough. But see, a lot of people tell me, forget about it. He's a jerk. I said, no. With me, you knock my character. You got a war in your hands. There's nothing more important to me than my character. And he is not going to get away with this here. I got to let somebody know. That's why I called you. Because this was my only forum here.
All right, now listen. I'm bringing your son.
Okay, bring
it. You think that's a good idea?
I leave it.
I don't want to Shanghai you.
You're not Shanghaiing me. The man's gay.
He came down here. I didn't call him.
Why did he?
I didn't call.
Did he tell you why?
I have no. Did he know what he came down? No.
Did he know what I was going to talk about? I might have not said a word. What does he know?
All I said is Pat Cooper is coming down here, and he showed up.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
That's between you and him now.
Yeah.
He's going to come in and explain to me, not to you. To me, he's going to explain.
Now, you know what I do? I put the mic down. I give him the mic, and let's go in the office.
No. You're going to sit here.
Okay.
I'll interview him.
Okay.
And if you need to interrupt, fine. But he has to explain to me why he did that, because he broke the sacred trust. I tried to bring you guys together.
That's right.
You guys went out to dinner. There was no problem.
We went out to lunch.
And then he sounds to me like he's in showbiz now, and he meant to, he turns it on and off for Geraldo.
But
I'm against him now.
I want to know why.
Yeah, all of a sudden he fabricated another fight with his father.
Right, exactly. Do you understand that point?
Marauder.
Right, okay. Stop talking about it. I want to straighten this out, Robin. How dare you, Robin?
What? I didn't.
What, Pat?
I'll be here. No, I'm going to wait.
Where are you going?
You're going to give him
No, sit down. Gary, how did Pat's son know? Pat's son just came down?
Pat's son used to live on the island. Now he lives in the city.
Oh.
And?
So he called up.
Pat's son has his explanation for all this?
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
All right.
Well, how did he show up?
He just showed up. He called up and he said, "What's your address?" And I said 600 Madison, but I didn't know it was him.
Right.
And then he was at the door and the guy called downstairs.
All right. I don't want Pat to think I set him up. You understand that?
I didn't say. I know you got more class than that.
Thank you.
That's number one. Number two.
And if you told me no, you don't want to see your son.
When he spoke to you, he never said who he was.
Right.
Right there. What's somebody? Can you tell you something? Pat Cooper's son.
All right. Pat, let's work this out.
I don't want to work it out.
I understand, but let's get an explanation. You do want an explanation. You said you wanted an explanation.
This might be the best thing that happens. You know why?
Right.
I back away and I go about my business.
Exactly. Well, you let me handle this, because believe me, I don't have a psychology degree, but I'm going to tell you something. I am the greatest psychologist that ever lived, because I know human nature, and I'll get to the bottom of this. And then I will pass judgment like Judge Wapner.
Oh,
yeah,
Solomon.
I
am like Solomon.
See, this kid, I believe, is a friend of my son's. When he said, if I had Pat Cooper was my father, I'd spit in his face. This is the kind of thing that Geraldo let this guy get away with.
Right, he likes that.
Well, yeah.
But you played into it, but you didn't know you were playing.
I didn't play into it.
You were an unwitting suspect.
I was so angry to think that this kid turned around and said, I abandoned.
Please, I'm very
Wait a minute, here's a kid, 32 years. Now you wake up and say, I abandoned you after 32 years? You know what I mean? Now you wake up.
That's right. Hey, look, it could be worse. Gary could be your son.
I was there, but at least he's working.
Yeah.
Well, I'm shocked, because I thought, we thought we had looked at a lot of devastation.
I didn't say it was easy. I even told you, I tried my best. I really, really tried.
Right. Let me say something here now. Geraldo, you can eat me. You know why? You know why? You know why, asswipe head? I'm going to tell you why. Because we got the two of them in the studio, you jerk.
Well, I'll tell you another thing.
Right? Geraldo, he's just looking for ratings.
That's fine.
I'm trying to bring people together.
Geraldo
He ruined
was
everything.
supposed to be giving up
No, he didn't
trash
ruin everything.
TV.
The boy ruined
But he doesn't mind
The
destroying
boy
the
ruined
family.
everything, not him.
All right.
I
Okay,
don't
you're right.
blame
That's a good
Geraldo,
point.
the
That's
boy.
true. That's true. That's true. Oh, Robin.
He used Geraldo, and Geraldo said, yeah, you can use me without saying, wait a minute, you got your facts together? We are estranged from your father, that's one thing. You're telling me this man abandoned you? That means I didn't pay a dime?
You are right. Pat?
You're right, we're wrong.
Pat?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Just give me a couple of seconds.
Let me just make people's face. What are you, a wise guy? What are you, a wise guy? How dare you? Here we're having a decent conversation. The man was nice enough to come on, and now you're going to spit in his face?
Pat, wait, what's it?
We're on the air. We're on the air.
Me and Pat are just discussing a few things. Trying to straighten this whole thing out, and I can't. That's obvious. It's too far gone.
Well, you know, you were absolutely right when you said there was a breach of the trust.
It was. I'm agreeing with Pat
trying
here.
to establish a trust.
I try to remain neutral.
Again,
No, if I'm wrong,
very
I'll be told I'm wrong, and I'll
very
take it.
difficult.
I'll
Right.
take it.
All right, maybe you are wrong. Let's find out. Robin, we have a very busy schedule. Pat Cooper is here. You've heard the story. If you've just tuned in, Pat is here. He got shanghaied on the Geraldo show by his son, and his son is here.
No, good.
Let me just bring his son in, and let's get his son.
When I'm on here, he can say whatever he wants.
You never said that.
Wait, I'm very open-minded. I'm very, at least I bring things to the fore.
You bet.
That's all.
One thing about you,
You're
man.
willing to discuss out in the open.
All right, here he is. Pat Cooper's son, Pat Cooper Jr. Michael Cooper.
Michael Cooper.
Michael Caputo.
Caputo.
All right, Michael. Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Pat's ex-wife is in the lobby, as you know.
Oh, stop.
No.
His sister's in the green room.
Now, Michael, I got to go with your father on this one. I got to tell you, I've heard his side of the story. And I got to tell you, it sounds to me like your dad was set up. Now, here's my feeling on it, okay? Let me just tell you, and then you respond, okay?
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay, fine.
Right. Your dad didn't know you were a Geraldo intern. When did that happen?
Okay, I joined the Geraldo staff around the end of October.
All right.
So I've been there that long.
Okay, all right.
Geraldo show never knew that my father was Pat Cooper. I got the job at the Geraldo show from the Center for Media Arts, where they place people around internships in the city.
By the way, a very good-looking guy, and
thanks.
See, see, Pat, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is just terrible that you guys know. I don't think this is ever going to be repaired now.
Well, let's see.
All right, let me tell you what my understanding is. So Geraldo's doing a show on fathers and sons. You tell Geraldo you want to do the show.
Is that
what
I
never spoke to Geraldo about it. I used to work with the producers over there at the show. I knew everything going on.
Right.
And I would see in advance the calendar and what kind of upcoming topics that they would have.
Right.
When I thought that the theme fit something to do with me, I just happened to mention to one of the producers that I was Pat Cooper's son, which is about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They never knew.
Now, who were the other guys on the panel? You were Pat
Okay,
Cooper's
there was Chad Everett's son.
Right.
I think...
Chad Everett? Did he abandon his son?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
They said, yeah.
Right.
Basically, everything there was paternity suits.
Right.
My issue was the only one that wasn't really a paternity suit, but they were saying a father abandoned the children and, or a divorce home.
And your dad was the only one to call in, actually.
That's correct.
Right, okay.
Correct. They did ask everybody else, and everybody else declined.
Right. One thing I got to say,
The show
Pat.
was called Can Fatherhood Be Forced?
I say one thing I got to say, man. You're the only one with balls enough to call in on these shows.
Because I have to stand up for what I believe is my right.
Okay. You don't want to be slandered.
Who's going to slander? I might make nobody slander me.
Right. Okay. Now, the last time I spoke to you, you and your father agreed to get together. You got together. You had dinner together. Things went well.
Yes, they did.
Okay. After the dinner, everything went well. You guys even got together again.
We got together about 2 or 3 times, I think.
Right. And everything was going pretty good.
We were on the telephone. Well, they were going good on the dinners and everything, but...
Who paid?
Oh, my father pays.
Okay, you see what I mean?
He says he has to always pay. That's
Right.
That's
his thing.
He's got to pay.
All
right, calm down.
The money.
You're the one making money. Then that's right.
No problem. Show off.
Right.
I says, hey, I'm a gentleman. This is my young son. Let me go out here. And if I, of course...
Trying to establish a relationship?
But he's not allowed to pay because I am making the money. This young man is making my kind of money. So if I try to make him pay, how do I look like an idiot?
Right, exactly. Okay, all right.
All right,
Thank you.
but let's, keep those side issues out of it.
I love the side issues, though, Rob. It's hard for me. paid? Because I like to know who paid. All right, but okay. Anyway, so, all right. What was going wrong in the phone conversation?
I don't know. There seemed like there was distance there, like there always was. There always was a little bit distance. So trying to warm up. He's trying to warm up to me. I understood that. But he's still bringing in the same crap of the family and the grandmother and the mother and his wife and what happened 30 years ago.
Right.
I am sick and tired of hearing.
All right, but you could understand.
Water on the bridge. I am sick of it. I had many times I had given him the chance to vent out what he felt, figuring if he vents it once, if he vents it twice, if he vents it 3 times, it'll be water under the bridge. But for 30 years, it has not been water under the bridge, and I'm sick and tired of it. I don't want to hear about my grandmother. I don't want to hear about my sister. I don't want to hear about my mother.
You feel good about that.
And I don't want to hear about his family in Las Vegas. I just want to hear about father and son.
Right.
And the issue never stays that.
Right. Okay, so there was a
That's my thing.
Now, the interesting thing is, if there was a problem, though, did you tell your father?
He knows I don't want to hear about that. I let him talk all the time. He's very dark. He upstages.
He didn't answer the question. You're right. I'll be the judge.
Now, let me ask you something.
He did not answer the question.
Because your father was under the impression when he was called by the Geraldo people that you guys had a good relationship.
Not a great relationship.
But it was
but things were
moving.
There was dialogue, and I said to myself, you know something? I said it to you on your show. I don't know if I can be this man's father, but I can be this guy's friend.
Right.
But I know it's difficult for him, and it's difficult for me. And about talking about the matters of family for 30 years, I don't think I saw him 10 times in 30 years.
All right,
hold on.
So in other words, you
when
needed
we went
to
out to
vent.
dinner, I spoke on the phone. It's something you naturally talk about.
But you have to talk about it. How could you avoid that
topic? I'm saying I want to ask you. You naturally talk about it. So, you know something?
Your father, I think, is trying to explain what happened those 30 years ago.
I heard it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
No. You heard their side.
No, I heard his side.
But I wanted to give it my way. So, you know something?
Well, he feels for 30 years you got their side. He wants 30 years.
I didn't get their side. They don't talk about
Well, for 30 years they badmouthed
He's
them.
thinking that I go over at my mother's house for dinner. I go to my grandma's house for dinner, and the topic of conversation is Pat.
But you could understand that.
The topic of conversation is not Pat.
Did you tell him that?
Did you tell him that?
Yes, I told him many times.
All right.
All right, and did you?
He wants to know when my grandfather died. He wants to know where my sister works. He wants to know. You know why? Because he wants to be vindictive, and I don't want to be a part of that.
All right, that's legitimate.
Be a part of being vindictive.
See, that's legitimate.
I don't want.
But the thing is,
because I saved myself calling up say downtown to go.
All right, hold it a second. Let me say something. Now, let's say your father isn't perfect. Let's say his fault is.
He's just a guy.
Let's say he's just a guy who's obsessed with what happened 30 years ago. Okay, let's buy into that.
Fine.
Okay,
fine.
And you know that about him. Right. But yet you see he's making a sincere effort to create a relationship with you, which to me is something that you wanted dearly, right? You want to have a relationship with your father. You don't want to go through the rest of your life not knowing your father. One day he'll be dead, and you'll be, gee, I wonder what he was like, right?
Certainly.
Right. So the thing is, if he was sort of getting on track, even though he was screwing up with bringing up your mom and the grandmother and all that stuff, you still had a couple of nice times together these last few months, right?
Correct.
You had a few nice times. So your father was under the impression that you were feeling a little better about him as a friend, and you were starting to treat him as someone that you could see every once in a while without all hell breaking loose.
And he was beginning to trust you.
Right.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
right.
now,
fine.
So the trust was beginning to build.
Okay.
In fact, even when he came on the show here another time, he didn't even harp so much on your mom and stuff. And in fact, he even said that you guys were having a nice relationship.
I heard that, yes.
Yeah, okay. So he was trying to build a trust there and not say anything bad anymore about you or your sister or your mom. You know what I mean?
He was trying.
Right, he was trying. He had already written off your sister and your mom, but he was interested in having a relationship with. And quite frankly, he was really working out.
This is what I had believed. Now, I can't swear that was what he was trying to do.
Right.
This is what I believe that he was trying to do.
Here's where I have the problem.
Okay, go ahead.
You go to work for Geraldo. You put yourself on the show. Now, seriously, I don't think this was right. So you go on the Geraldo show, and then your dad calls you and says, gee, the Geraldo show called up. They tell me you're interning. Is that true? And you go, yes.
Okay.
And you say, well, gee, is there any problem I should know about? Is there a reason why I'm coming on the Geraldo show? Is there a problem here? And you say, no. There's no problem.
There wasn't a problem.
All right, there wasn't a problem.
There wasn't any problem.
Okay. So then to go on the Geraldo show and then start yelling out. Now, we haven't seen the show. When does the show air?
Friday at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
This Friday at 4.
For you to, as soon as your father gets on, you abandoned me.
I didn't start screaming that out. I saw the tape yesterday myself. I didn't say that. He asked my father to open up, and my father said what he had to say. And I said what I had to say, which is the same thing that I came on here saying when I spoke with you in August.
So you don't feel it was that bad, what happened?
Oh, so what you did... Wait a minute.
No, I don't
Who was the one that said, I'll spit in your face if you want my father?
Some lady in the audience. Some lady in the audience said that because they heard how he was talking over the telephone like he did here in August.
Let me ask you a question.
And some lady in the audience stood up.
But how can you build trust?
Someone said that about you. About you.
Yes.
And I'm in that room. I would have ate our face up because first of all, the setup was here. When Geraldo don't tell this man or this woman, whoever it was a woman or a man who said that.
It was a woman.
It was a woman. I'll spit
in fact, she wasn't the only one. There were about 5 or 6 people who said it.
I told
not
them.
one person. Let's get that correct.
I told them. There's no correction here because I told them exactly what went on.
Well, the people
because people are going to see the show and they're going to hear and they're going to judge for themselves. Doesn't matter one way or the other because it's not going to hurt me one way or the other. What hurts me is to put me in a situation like that is fine. You can knock my brains out. You got a right to. You can do that, but I got a right to defend myself. At least you should have said, "Listen, I'm going to knock you on your rear end."
Well, I think when your dad called, you had a right to tell him the show was about dads who abandon their kids.
No, it was "Can Fatherhood Be Forced?" That was the name of the title, about children from divorced parents. And I told him that on the telephone when he called me and said, "How come you didn't tell me you worked for Geraldo?" I turned around and I said to my father, all of a sudden, I have to report to you where I work. He wasn't concerned where I worked for the last 30 years.
But I didn't ask you to be concerned. Oh, I see.
So I have to tell him. This is how I feel. I got to tell him at my age where I'm working. He didn't care for 30 years.
That's true.
What are you talking about at dinner, though?
I mean, come on. Who's he kidding? Because it's Geraldo? If it was a laundry mat, he don't care. But because it's Geraldo, he's the one who came and told me, I'm trying to get Sally Jesse Raphael. I'm trying to get Geraldo. I'm trying to get Phil Donahue. I'm going to blow it. I'm going to blow the bugle and let everybody know. Because they wouldn't give him an hour, he didn't go on their show. This is what he told me. So I worked for Geraldo. Geraldo gave me
Why should he be on for 5 minutes, though?
Why should I be on for 5 minutes? What is
well, you certainly took the opportunity at the Geraldo show to be on.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, because I knew I was going to get the hour.
You took the opportunity. I didn't get the hour. I was on the hour. I didn't get the hour.
I was on the hour.
You see what I mean?
I was on the hour. I was on the whole hour. Don't tell me I wasn't on the hour. I was on the phone an hour, and I was in and out of the conversation. So don't tell me. And you go, you can't discuss a current affair for 7 minutes or this for 9 minutes, okay? And if I want to go on and make my statement, that's my business. You want to defend my statement, that's your business.
Fine.
That's your business.
That's all that was done.
Yeah, but
that's all that was done.
Hold on a minute. I didn't ask you to tell me where you go, what you get. The only thing I said, maybe I misunderstood the girl. I said, excuse me, you an intern in the Marauder? Not that I was questioning you. God bless you. Be an intern 9 times. I wasn't questioning you. I don't give a damn what you do. It's none of my business. I wasn't questioning you. I just want to know if this woman told me the truth.
Right.
Now you turn around and say, I don't have to answer to you. I didn't say you have to answer to me.
I didn't turn around and tell him.
You just said to me, I don't have to answer to you.
When he asked me the question on the phone, did I intern at Geraldo? I said, yes, I do.
Right.
I answered the question. But
why
he asked me why. I didn't tell him a week ago.
Pat, you must have suspected that Geraldo was going to be asking you about this.
Yeah, but that's why I said if I don't go on...
Did you get the impression on the show that your son was going to badmouth you? Did your son badmouth you?
I was sitting in this particular room.
I wasn't badmouthing him. I wasn't badmouthing him.
Hold on.
He's angry because I told my side of the story. He told his side of the story.
But the side of the story...
Like what they heard.
So why are you mad, Pat?
I'm mad because when you tell me I abandoned you...
I didn't say that he abandoned. I said you...
Well, we'll have to watch the tape to see that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let everybody watch the tape and decide for themselves.
Now, you're saying that you don't...
abandon you.
I turned around and said,
I abandoned you.
So, Robin...
I'm lost already.
Well, Robin, I'm certainly not going to ask you for family advice because...
No, I can take care of this.
Okay.
You should never talk to each other again.
Right, no. The point is, Pat, I don't think you're really mad with him.
I am mad.
If he said he abandoned you, that's one thing. But,
aren't those my feelings?
But wait a minute.
I solved the problem right now. The problem right now is it ends here.
That's it.
My word as a man. It ends here with him and me. I won't bother with him no more.
Because it was weird that you went on the Geraldo show.
Yeah, well, it's hard to take a healing relationship.
Right, you had a healing. Why go on Geraldo?
It ends here.
I think you were mad. I think, Pat, you were mad because why bring it up on Geraldo?
Can I say something?
Why shouldn't your son be a part of that? You didn't abandon your son.
All my life, Robin. My father has found an excuse not to bother with me.
But he was bothering you.
Now he's got another reason.
But come on.
This is another reason. Now he's got a good reason.
But shouldn't you have... Wait a second, Michael. Shouldn't you have called your dad up and said, hey, listen, I'm going on this Geraldo show. Here's the topic. What do you think, Dad? Do we want to discuss this, on the Geraldo show together? I'm willing to say this, and this, and you should come on and say this, because I don't want to blow a good thing that we have.
He knew before me they were definitely going to do a show.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to discuss it with him?
It was on off. I did when he
It was
called
never
me.
on and off. It was on because the producer said to me, "This is what's going to come down." She said to me, "I'll play the devil's advocate," which I said, "Okay, fine."
Right.
And she asked me a couple of questions. I said, "Okay, fine, whatever." I wasn't going to say, "Well, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that."
So now you're saying,
I wanted them to say whatever they wanted because I wanted to answer. If I'm wrong, I'll learn for something.
Now what happens?
I'm not perfect here.
Now what happens if you watch the show, Pat, and you see that your son didn't say he abandoned you?
Oh, he said it. There's no question. I don't want to see. He said it.
I said my father turned his back on me.
Yeah.
Okay? He turned his back on his own flesh and blood, which was me. This is how I feel. Okay, this is how I feel.
Well, but
well, you know what?
But that's why he keeps bringing up. But that's why
your mother didn't turn her back on you. Your mother turned around and told you that I'm the bum. That's all these years.
My mother didn't say that you were the bum. My mother was there. My mother was there. Where were you?
Your mother had to be there.
What do you mean she had to be there?
Your mother had to be there. She's your mother.
Wait a second.
He had to be here too. Where were you for 30 years? Where were you for 30 years?
I was in America.
Where were you?
I was in America.
Yeah, how come the
I was
phone didn't
anywhere.
ring?
And I wouldn't call you.
You don't know if I was
I don't want to call you. I don't want to call you.
You didn't want to.
I don't want to call
Michael.
you.
That's the bottom line.
I don't want to call anyone that talks the way you talk.
Now, Michael, let me ask you a question.
That's the bottom line.
It's over, baby.
Now you can see why.
That's the bottom line.
Forget about it.
Now you can see why Pat was bringing it up at dinner all the time, because you see,
there's a lot of feelings.
you were
still
feeling.
there.
He
Still
wants to keep
there.
explaining himself to you. He was opening up a dialogue.
Listen every time.
You can't open a dialogue. He was told one way, and all of a sudden, you're telling him he's wrong, and he's turning around. Well, what are you doing? Oh, see, he's crap. You know what? He don't want nobody to stand up to what they believe to be right.
The floor.
Right.
I got a right to stand up. You don't have to agree with me.
Go ahead.
That's fine. He don't like it. He can kiss my butt.
Go ahead.
And this is the end of it as of now. He can kiss my butt. Now he can tell the world I abandoned him.
The world knows the truth now. The world knows that you were a fake for 30 years. You were a fake. You were never a father to me. You were never a father to me. Wish? Who wishes? Who wishes? Who wishes?
Who wishes?
But wait a second. He is a good father. He is a good father. You know, he is capable of being a good father.
He's capable. But he never showed that he was.
But maybe he wasn't allowed to be a good father.
By who?
By who?
By your mom is what he's saying.
Yeah, what's his excuse the last 20 years when I was on my own in my own apartment? Where were you?
He was 20 years on his own. He's 32. That means he was 20 years on his own. I'm 32. He's 20 years on his own.
You know, Pat,
12 years on my own. I'm 12 years on my own.
What are you? Oh, you thank you? You got to be.
No, you can't call me and say, how are you? See if I'm living again.
I don't want to call you because
you were never there for any kind of emotional support.
Unfair or what? Unfair about what? You're a one-sided man. You don't give anybody a chance to defend your right.
You're one-sided.
You're
wait a minute. Mike,
wait a second. I lost my
I understand that you're hurt.
Right.
You're a little boy.
But your dad was
didn't
trying.
get to see his father, okay, for all those years.
But he was trying.
But your father had a problem. Wait a minute. Your father had a problem with the family unit you were living in.
That's
right.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You have to understand that both of you had problems with the situation that neither one of you were the complete maker of. And either you got to forget that and see what you can be to each other now.
Yeah.
Or you can't be together.
Okay. The thing about it is that
wait a second. Excuse me. That was a very impressive speech. By the way, Mark Chernoff, our program director, wants to announce he just hired Pat and Mike to do 6 to 10 on weekends. It's part of the new schedule change here at the K-Rock. With amazing, it will be just wall-to-wall fights and the best classic rock all mixed together.
You can't keep blaming each other and wanting forgiveness and wanting you to hear his side and take your side. It isn't going to work.
You see, I think
it's never going to work, Robert, because I ain't going to let it work. It's over. That's the end of it. Now, I'm saying, hold on. I'm saying publicly, so now you got it on record.
I'm glad everybody heard. This is what I heard for 30 years. Every time
you never heard it for 30 years.
This is the best thing he said. His line. You blew a father.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
You blew a father.
Goodbye.
You blew a father. You blew like it was my fault he put me here.
Goodbye. I say it again. You didn't hear me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's all.
Goodbye to you. Go back to Vegas in your little bubble out there.
I'll go where I want to go.
Your little make-believe family.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah, the Pat Cooper make-believe family. Go back to Vegas.
Now you're knocked on my wife and my daughter.
Like you never knocked. That's all I heard for 30 years.
My wife and my daughter.
My mother and my grandmother and my sister for 30 years.
But what I'm saying is,
you're the vindictive one. You're vindictive. You're the one who knocks the family all the time. Your own mother.
I did not. I defend.
You knocked your own mother.
I defend my. That's right.
You aren't respected. You knocked your own mother.
That's right. Because my mother wasn't a mother.
Right?
That's my right to do it. You don't like it? Too bad.
She wasn't a mother.
That's right.
Then I'll knock who I want. If that means my father, that means my father. Then you were wrong. You're out of line. You're out of line. You're out of line, Jack. You're out of line.
You're out of line.
You're out of line.
All right, so we're both out of line.
Anybody got a line?
Oh, no.
Had any chance you'll do Mama's Moulignon for us?
He wants respect, but he doesn't know how to give respect.
You know what the problem is?
You gotta learn to give it before
you don't know respect of it. You're gonna have a back.
Look who's talking.
Yeah, all right.
Look who's talking. Pat.
You know you're right. You know you're right. You know what it is? If I was just Joe the plumber, you'd never hear from this guy.
Come
you know what it is? You know what it is? The
jealousy
of you made something of yourself, and he can't handle it.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe that. Everybody wants to be close.
Everybody wants
to be close to their father.
I wanted a father. I can't be that much. I can't be that wrong.
But let me ask you something. I still don't understand one thing. I don't understand one thing.
Go ahead.
I still don't understand one thing. All right. I don't understand one aspect of this whole thing. This Geraldo thing. I don't understand one aspect. The aspect I don't understand. I know Pat's caught up with the semantics of abandonment and all this stuff. I'm not even concerned about that. The one thing I don't understand in this whole relationship is how come you're on your road to communication. You're sitting and going to dinner. You're going to lunch. You're on the phone. You're talking to one another. Everything's going along.
Okay.
There's a true relationship trying to be established. It's almost like you wanted to sabotage it because you knew going on Geraldo was going to make him nuts again. And not telling him about it and discussing with it.
Yeah.
You kind of knew. Come on.
You went over.
And you knew that it would only be good.
Territory that you'd been over.
And you kind of knew what Geraldo was after. You wanted your father exploding on the air. You didn't want to calm Pat Cooper.
No, I wanted my father down there with me. I wanted him to come down to the show with me.
Did I show up?
Okay.
Was I showed up?
Well, on the
you were there.
Did I go?
You were there.
Did I turn it down?
Okay.
No.
I went.
Right.
That tells you what a pretty good guy I am to defend my character, which this man's trying to say I have none. Because you know why? How can you know if you say you've never been around me? How can you be around somebody that when the other party don't want you around, and the other party accuses you of every goddamn mistake, of anything, that you're to blame? So you know what I did? I paid my dues, and now I am a better man for it.
Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion.
He could sleep at night. I'm happy he could sleep at night.
You know what it was, though? Like, going on Geraldo was like picking at a scab. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
You're opening up a
I wanted
wound.
to let people know that I was a product of a divorced family.
All right.
Okay? And I wanted to know my side of the deal. That's all. I wanted them to know my side of it.
Well,
I had a right to go on and view it. I had no idea what they were going to ask me.
You had the right.
I had no idea.
Robin, I think it's over. Pat will never forgive his son.
It is over.
It's a shame because I think it could be salvaged. I think it could be salvaged.
No, I'm not going to forgive or forgive.
He don't forgive. He don't know how to forgive. He'll go.
No, you should have talked to your dad ahead of time about the whole thing, about what you were going to say.
You should have opened up even at those dinners.
If he had called you first and discussed it.
But I didn't know he had to defend himself to me. I'm not saying he had to.
He said what he had to say.
But I got to get an argument from this girl. When I say, she said, you mean your son? I said, my son never told me nothing. She said, I can't believe that. I said, I swear to God, he didn't tell me nothing. That he played your tape for her. I said, well, I didn't know. Then I said something.
I gave her a copy of the tape after she spoke with my father.
Regardless whether you gave it before or after. She didn't hear the tape from the Howard Stern show. She said to me, I sat down and heard the whole tape. I said to honey, I don't care that he played the tape.
I got a break for commercial, but what do I do? What do we do during a commercial?
You can't do nothing.
Are you guys going to sit here during the commercial?
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? I'm glad this happened.
All right, should we stop?
No, hold on. I'm going back to my make-believe world because I hit his great world. I don't want to be a part of his world. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to be his father, and that's the way it's going to be.
I'm glad he said on the air. Everybody heard that. He doesn't want to be my father.
Pat, you are no longer his father.
32-year-old boy. He's
no longer my father. Pat Cooper is no longer Michael Caputo's father.
Absolutely.
What should have happened was you guys...
Now I tell you, that's the truth, and you got it on tape.
You know what's sad about this? Seriously, I'm really sad about this. It really should be...
This hurts me.
It does, because, you see, it was so close. I almost had you guys back together.
Yeah, okay, well, it's over. It's over.
In a situation like this, Howard, though, you can't ever really have, these two
Pat, I'll see you.
A lot of emotions.
Are you getting water? Pat's getting water.
But, you need counseling, somebody...
I need counseling, you're right.
Should have been being counseled so they could understand and, relieve some of their own feelings in the situation, because nobody's giving anything.
Michael, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. Your father just left here completely emotional. All right, we got to take a break. I'm sorry. I got to take a break.
I'm hurt.
I mean,
Well, the thing about it is, I don't understand why I have to talk to him about something when every time he got on the air, on television, on Bob Grant, and spoke about me, he never came to me and said, son, I'm going to speak about you. So why do I
Well, that's a good point.
I'm going to speak about him.
Well, that is
This is
true.
what I want to know. I have to answer
All right, let's ask him that after the commercial. I'm going to ask him that.
I want that answered. Why
I'm
do
going
I
to ask him
answer to
that.
him?
Let me ask
I
him
don't want
that.
it.
You don't ask him, I'll ask him.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back right after this. Egads, I'm exhausted. You know that. All right, now let's just make something clear. I want to sum this up. Number one, Pat, to me, as far as I know, Pat did not abandon the family. I want to make that clear. All right, I just want to say that.
And
he's not going to get Father of the Year award.
The last time I will come on your show and aggravate with my personal problems. And
oh, no, it isn't.
If I hurt you...
I'm assigning you to an exclusive contract.
All of your personal problems get worked out on this show.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it. Mike, during the commercials, was saying to me that the same way you don't ask permission to go on a show, it's the same way Mike feels he doesn't have to ask permission to go. This is a story that he feels happened to him, where his father, for family reasons...
He has absolute 100% right.
What is he saying? He says I have a right. Why is he saying that I should check with him?
And you have a right
to check and discuss with him.
So we're both wrong and nobody can win. I said it to you 10 minutes ago.
No, but he's saying that there's nothing wrong with him going on a show and talking about his life as the son of Pat Cooper.
No, that's okay.
As long
don't
as
say
he
I
doesn't...
abandoned. And don't say that...
Now he's saying, now on Friday, let's watch the show. He's going to say that he said that...
He turned his back.
He says you turned your back. Now, that's the same as abandon.
Okay. That's the same as abandon.
Okay, yes it is.
Now, your father has a beef with that because he's saying he would have been...
First of all, I thought we had a nice thing going.
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm on the defensive here. I'm saying, wait a minute. I was nice enough. Again, I paid for the phone call. I'm on in and out of the show for an hour. I don't expect this because I figured if he's going to let me have it, we're in the restaurant. I say, listen, you want to know something?
He embarrassed you in front of Geraldo's audience.
And I said, okay, end it. It's over. That's it. But to let me go on the air, not knowing that he's going to, I think
he made you look bad on Geraldo.
No,
I'm just trying to your father's point.
I'm looking bad, but I mean, please tell me, you know something? I'm going to say on the yes, okay, listen, here's what we do. We say, we both have arguments here. We both disagree. We both agree on certain things. Let's end it there. So
right.
We would try. And
you guys had the argument.
I was not prepared.
Hold it a second. You guys had the argument on the air here. And what it almost seems like, you went on Geraldo
and did it again.
And did the same exact thing, knowing that your father, now is making an effort. And you're making an effort to come together. So he's saying, gee, out of the clear blue. Now, he had no idea from you that you were going to get on the air and say...
Did I know he was here? Did I know he was here tonight?
No. But I'm saying, out of the clear blue...
You told me, was he here? You want me to bring him in? Did I say, are you crazy? I said, bring him. Come on, go ahead. I'm not afraid.
In other words, he had no clue that you were going to get on the air on Geraldo and say... My father turned his back on us.
I said the story.
In other words, he thought that you guys had that argument and you were moving beyond that.
Yeah, well, Geraldo gives every person there a synopsis, and I had my chance to say what happened in my last 30 years.
So your father's saying, what your father is saying is...
Come on.
But did you say...
I didn't say he didn't come on.
I didn't say he didn't come on.
Why did the other ones come on?
But when you said that your father turned his back...
They were paternity
Your
suits.
father was surprised because he felt that, hey, we've had that argument, we put that behind us, we're moving into a new phase of our relationship.
Yeah, did you say you were working on your relationship now, that you'd gotten back together, or that you
and that your father took you to dinner, and that things were going well?
I only answered the questions that were directed to me. I mean, the whole hour wasn't given to me.
Yeah, that hurt, Michael.
Okay. That's what hurt your father. Now, I understand.
But by the same time, you have to realize...
He had a chance to say that because he was also given the platform to speak.
You know how guys in show business go on shows and they're phonies together, and they always say, like, yeah, I love him, he loves me, I love him, Not that you should be a phony and trump up phony emotions, but at some point you say, okay, listen, I'm not going to screw this up. I got something good going with my father. We're really starting to have some kind of communication. Maybe for once I won't go on Geraldo. Or if I go on Geraldo, I'm going to say, Geraldo, I want to make it clear that my father and I are now having a dialogue. We're going to dinner together. And he's starting to show me a side of him that says, hey, maybe it's just my mother and my father had a disagreement and the kids were caught in the middle. Unfortunately, what this happens is that you don't have a father and he doesn't have a son. And the thing is that it could be so good between the two of you.
The other point is that Michael has to realize that on the strength of the trust he was developing for you, he said yes to the Geraldo show.
Right. Because he felt he could trust you.
And you can be on too, Pat.
Yes,
we want you to be on because your son is on, and Pat said, okay.
Right. Yes, Gary.
No, the only thing I want to say is that the listeners are out of their minds and they're calling like crazy. They all have opinions and they're dying to get through.
All I want to say, and I want him to understand, he's got tremendous amount of rights. He's got anger, and I respect that. I truly do.
Right.
If I was a bad boy...
If he respects it, then why does he say it's over? Why does he keep saying it's against me.
Because
I think he expects
I
that.
can't-
You were disrespectful to Geraldo.
I cannot. No, that's okay.
But you
I
not
can't let him understand. I can't let him understand that if I'm going to choose that way to go, that's my privilege. That's all. That's my privilege. I don't want to talk no more about this. That's my privilege. I think we did enough. I think your program did enough. I think
You're not interested in having a son anymore.
Hold on. If I was a gangster, killer, murderer, all right, I could say okay.
Right.
I made a name for myself. I did the best I can. I produced something for myself and for my new family because that's the way my life was directed. Right. I didn't take it out on him. I get mad at him or hated him anyway. I said, I guess this is the way it's got to be because years ago when he was a child, and I understand that, he hears this, he hears that, but I wasn't there even to defend myself, but that's okay.
It's sad that the kid's always the victim.
But that's okay. All right. But I tried. I tried. And I said to you, it's very difficult, Howard, but if I can't be this kid's father, I'm going to be his best friend.
Right.
So I tried to say, okay, I was a gangster. I murdered 9 people. I come out on parole 90 years.
Now you're not interested in any of this.
I was going to take it from April 1st on, that thing.
Right.
I say, but it can't.
You can't have it. Can't forget about the past.
All right. Hey, let's assume him and I, we sit down, we talk about the family again.
Right.
He's still my son. I'm his father. He goes, yeah, that, blah, blah, blah. We eat. Then we talk about what's the difference. We hash things out.
Right.
But that's between
But you're having a dialogue.
All right.
That's very healthy.
But he just finished telling you, he said, well, I'm sick and tired of hearing this. All right, but I wanted to defend myself to him, not that I have to say, well,
Let me get an idea how bad this really is.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Who do you like more, Lola Falana or Michael?
Oh, geez.
I love Michael next to Lola Falana. I love him.
You love Michael more than
So
Lola.
you're still not in as bad a shape as you could be.
Okay.
You're still not, there's hope. I think there's hope.
Oh, I love him. Are you kidding me?
Compared to Lola Falana, he's a 10.
Can I say something?
Right.
Oh, I give him a bonus.
Right. But now he is no longer your son. I think you're loosening up here. I think you're two where you want to be friends.
Really?
Let's try it one last. Come on, Pat.
That's your baby boy.
I gotta speak to Lola first.
Pat, I think this is it's over.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. When I say,
all right, we'll have an audience vote. Let's have an audience vote.
Wait a
What
minute.
Pat should do.
It'll be like the love connection. Should they get back together?
Should they get back together?
Let's have the audience
question
vote.
of getting back together. Question of getting.
Hold it, Pat. Hold it. It's not up to you anymore. It's up to the audience.
The audience. We're going to leave it to the audience.
Should you get back together again?
Yes, I think we should get back together
Really?
again.
Yeah.
You do.
I'm speaking from experience. I mean, I grew up in Elmhurst and Jackson Heights and Forest Hills. I'm calling from Philadelphia now. And
I don't need a speech. I just want to vote.
What has Elmhurst and Jackson Heights got to do with it?
Hello? What a bore that woman was. Hello?
Because she lived in the neighborhood.
All right, so that's one vote that you should get back together. Hello?
This is Howard Stern?
Yes.
Howard, tell them to get back together again.
All right.
It's another vote.
You see what I mean? Why is that, sir?
Well, because I grew up in a household like that, and I think it's very important for a father and son to work things out.
There
You got to
go.
keep trying, right?
Absolutely.
Pat feels it's impossible, though.
Well, no, Pat...
Nothing's impossible. I just want to let it end to a point that the young man's got to understand what he likes to hear what I say or not. I've got a right to defend a position that I believe I have a right to defend.
And
He don't have to. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So what happens? He's got a right, I got a right, and the two rights ain't going to make it.
Right.
So what I'd say...
Because every time you defend your positions, you end up breaking up the relationship.
I think a hiatus here.
Give up on it already.
Hiatus. Hiatus. All right. Hiatus.
I
That's
want water
okay.
under the bridge. I want it to be over with.
Right.
I don't want to talk.
Well, let me say something.
All I wanted to
because I too came from a sort of broken home.
Because Robin broke
I
things at
broke
home.
it. No,
Yes.
but anyway, there was a period of time where my parents were separated.
Yes.
And my mother would come to me and complain about my father.
Right.
And it just tore me up because that was my father she was talking about.
Right. See?
And finally, I just said to her, look,
Yeah.
you have a problem with your husband.
Right.
That's not my husband. That's your husband. You don't talk to me about that.
Right.
All right? I don't want to hear you run down my father anymore. So that's what you have to say.
How old were you? How old are you, Robin?
20.
20 years old? It's
Yeah.
okay. Well, I did that when I was 13.
Yes,
and I
but
didn't want to hear anything from
all you
any
have to do
side.
is just say, we're not going to talk about that. That's not on
But he
the table
continues
for
talking
discussion.
about what he's going to
Because
do.
you hold
up your hand.
What he's going to do.
Geraldo, you got to talk about
Me and
it.
him on one. We're not discussing with them. I'm sitting down talking to this man, saying, Mike, let's talk about you, this and that. If he says, I don't want to talk about it, and then right there is okay. But that's family. Everybody talks about
Everyone.
family.
What else are you going to talk about?
What's the difference? So wait,
I sit there
we
and
can
talk about
the past.
Oh,
like,
wait
why-
a minute. Hold it.
All right, one more vote. One more vote. Yes?
Hi, I want to talk to about the Pat situation.
Yes, go ahead.
Are you on the air?
Yes.
Okay. Look, Pat, you're the pitcher, okay? Give the kid a couple strikes.
Ah.
There you go.
He's a kid. You're the mature adult. You've seen the world. You've been from the streets. Give him a couple pitches.
There you go.
They want you to get
I
back.
think he wants you to hit him.
Hit him. I don't care.
Hit him. You don't
Nail
care.
him.
That's all right. Very good, sir.
Thank you.
Ooh, this is so fun. This is like Sally
Very
Jesse
good
Raphael.
Football or baseball analogy.
Ooh, I'm digging it.
Yeah. Unanimous.
Yeah.
You guys want to be in here when I talk to the girls, or what?
I'm going to back away. This is your show. You
all right, now let me get this straight. So now the relationship is on hiatus. You're saying that you could get back.
Right now, I got a job. Let me tell you something. On top of this, I got to be funny at night. And on top of this, I got to go out in front of an audience.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Can I ask both of you a question? Let's give it a hiatus of a month.
No,
4 weeks.
No, a little bit more than that.
Right, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks I have you back and I work this out.
Okay.
And if I can't work it out, we drop it all together.
You got a deal.
But you got to agree to come to the table.
You got a deal. I said to you, you got a deal.
Would you agree to that, Michael?
Yes, I would.
You would.
All right.
Because in 6 weeks, I will think about this and I will come up with the answer.
All right.
Okay.
6 weeks during the ratings sweep?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Well, hey,
it's in a good time.
You got to always go for a good term. I would like to do it in the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Lead it into the 8:30 hour. And then wrap it into the 9.
All right. Would somebody put that down?
Somebody put that down. Seriously. I'm being serious now.
Hey, can I tell you something? You said something. I'm right there. I don't hide.
I think Michael likes this because he feels I make sense at least. Geraldo doesn't try to.
Broke the ice, Howard.
Geraldo is a dick. I'll tell you why Geraldo's a dick. He used you.
And he didn't make anything better.
He had no idea, but he had no idea
how dare
he had
you.
no idea.
He was just
really
for
did.
sensationalism. He doesn't care about the lives
he does.
Now look at these facts
very
coming
nicely
in.
over there. He really does. He treats me very nicely over there.
Sirs, if Pat Cooper was my father, I'd spit in Geraldo's face. P.S. Pat Cooper's son sounds like Neil Sedaka. That's what he says. Pat, spit in the little bastard's face. That's what I want.
Dear.
Pat, forget the past. Life is short. Hug your son right now. Tell him you love him. Don't put the sins of the past on his head. Deal with him on a here and now basis. A father needs a son. A son needs a father. There's no more special relationship in the world. We don't live in the past. We don't live in the future. We live now. Signed, Donahue. My God.
No.
Look at that. They right away.
They're the best listening to you.
Donahue.
They learn from you.
That's it.
They learn from you.
The facts are coming in, Robin, like you would not believe. Right, I have a feeling in 6 weeks, let this calm down a little bit. Let me watch the Geraldo show.
The Geraldo show. You watch it.
Yeah.
You take it from
I will force myself to watch that garbage.
All right.
Only because my friends, and I consider you both friends because
it's not the end of the world, Howard. It's not the end of the world. I just turned around. I said the reason I called up.
See, things improved here today, Robin.
Absolutely.
I had
see
an effect.
I'm loosening up.
Thank
see
you.
that.
I did, Pat.
He's
Don't
not
tell me no.
set in his way.
Okay, thank you.
He's laughing a little bit.
Michael, you feel it was a positive thing?
Yeah.
6 weeks, I contact you guys, we get back together?
Yeah.
Book a couple of dates around that time. Just a word of advice. Okay, where are you going to be tonight, Pat?
In
a mental institution.
No, not really.
Where are you going to be?
No, I'm going to be at Grand Plus tonight.
Will you be doing Mama's Moulignon?
No, I don't sing on the issue.
You will not do any Mama's Moulignon.
But I do talk about...
Because Jackie's doing the marijuana song.
Whatever I talk about is all made up. I want people to know that it's all, it's all material. I don't think I'm talking about this man or talking about this mother. Right. I make up, and my mother doesn't come from Italy. My mother doesn't turn statues upside down. I want people to know that whatever I'm doing is humor, and what I've seen as I grew up about other different mothers, because they think that I owe them money.
But I never said he was talking about it. Can I finally say that?
They said I owe them money.
Let him say what he said.
They said I owed them money because I mentioned their name as I owed them.
No. I never said he owed me money, number one. Okay.
I didn't say you said that.
Let me say how I feel about that, because he always says he's not talking about us. I know that he's not directly talking about me, maybe, or my sister or my grandmother. He's talking about a Italian family, the way it is, okay? Maybe a stereotype image, but the way it is.
Make that 12 weeks. We'll do the reunion in 12 weeks, maybe. Maybe we need more.
All I want to say is...
Christmas might next year. I might be here.
I'm speaking
I see
about...
what you're saying. You're saying that, and he's saying this, so the two of you are saying this and that.
The image that he portrays.
Yes.
Clean image and a good image.
A good image.
It's the image.
I don't agree with
unlike my image.
Portrays.
Okay.
But you don't have to agree because I'm not portraying you. I'm portraying something that I've seen.
Exactly. I betray my father.
I don't betray you. I don't betray you.
That was
now, I want a true hiatus.
I have to buy it. I'm going to make a living. You buy what you got to buy. No one's telling you what to believe. I go out on the floor. Bill Cosby's got the Cosby Show, and look at what the trouble he's having with his daughter. But we still watch the Bill Cosby Show.
Well,
I mean,
there's
Jerry
the
Lewis
point.
has troubles with his kids.
But we know.
He still does the telethon. Don't you take it personal. I ain't thinking about you.
But we know
I wouldn't
both
think
sides
about you on
of
the
Cosby.
stage.
But we know the both sides of Cosby. I want people to know the both sides of Pat Cooper.
There's only one side of Pat
No,
Cooper.
there's another
Fair.
side.
Fair.
I never got a voice. I never got a voice.
Because you don't deserve a voice sometimes.
All right, listen to me. This is getting worse than I thought. This is all right. I'm going to make
guys,
rules.
we
No,
had-
I'm making rules. Pat, you stay south of 57th Street. Mike, you stay north of 57th Street. Now, listen to me. Pat is also upset. There's a lot of issues going on, Robin. Robin, I didn't want to say this. Pat is upset. There's a lot of other issues going on here. That you don't even know about.
Yeah, he wants to get the rest of the family now.
I'm going to say this, Pat, if you don't mind.
I don't
want to be.
Pat,
He's going after my aunts now. I mean, I can't understand this. I don't want
because
to know
they
about
hurt
this.
me, Mike, and I got a
Fine.
right to defend
But
myself.
don't put
I
me
didn't
in the
bring you
middle.
on it. I didn't bring you
I don't
on
want to
it.
hear their crap.
Pat,
I don't want to hear your crap.
Now, Pat, you know what
I
happened.
get crap from both ends.
Yeah,
I lose both ways.
Yeah,
I get their crap and I get his
loses
crap.
both ways.
So I can't win. So I'm put in the middle. I don't want to get
I'm
my
not
aunt's
putting you in
crap
the middle.
and I don't want to get my father's crap. I want to be totally isolated from
All right, then
Don't
you're
speak
isolated.
about
I said
me.
you earlier.
Don't
You're
say me.
isolated.
Don't say me in the same
You're
breath as them. I don't want to know from
You
them.
got a deal.
With the,
I won't
don't
mention
want
you
to
at
be
all.
in
You
the
got a
middle.
deal.
But in other words,
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
want
That's what I
now.
mean. If we go out to dinner, it's
See,
Dad and me.
but wait a second.
Me and Dad.
Michael, you what?
Don't tell me what to talk about if I take anybody out to dinner.
I said me to dinner.
Anybody.
I said me to dinner.
Anybody.
I don't want to
take you
speak about
dinner
my aunt.
and I want to discuss something that maybe I think is important you should know. I got to tell you.
Don't put me in the middle.
Because at least I'll tell you
Because that
something
makes our
that you should know.
relationship bad.
That's not what you told me.
That makes our relationship bad every time. Susie brings
No, in other words, you got to understand something, Mike.
Right here.
I think it better be 8 weeks.
But no. Now, I want a true hiatus. I don't want to see you guys on Geraldo, Jesse, Raphael, Donahue. I want a 6-week hiatus from all of this. See, Pat has this thing going on. His father died. In the obituary, they left Pat out.
But not all three sisters left.
It said that.
Oh, no?
No. One of them it is. It's only one of them that left.
Okay.
One of the sisters said that when Pat's father died, he left 3 daughters and didn't have a son.
Yes, and?
And Pat was his son. They left him out of the
She should have
obituary.
straightened it out, right, Mike?
That's the issue.
But it was too late. It was in the paper already.
But she should have turned around and straightened it out.
You can't blame my Aunt Gracie for that.
I blame her. You know why?
Gracie for
You
that.
know why I blame her? Because she's the oldest. She should have said, hey, wait a minute.
you can't
I wanna
blame her.
straighten-
She had no
I blame her
idea.
because she's a Jesus woman. She loves Jesus. She loves God. She loves Jesus. I see the oldest sister. Do me a favor, Grace.
Right.
Get those 2 sisters and
Exactly.
straighten this out. She don't want to know.
It was too late. It was already in the paper already.
I understand.
You say so.
It's a whole other issue.
It's another issue.
What do we do?
It's really none of my
Now,
business.
Pat,
It
you're going
really
to take
isn't.
that issue
It
up with
really
them,
isn't.
right?
All right.
Pat, you're going to take that issue
I mean,
up
I
with
didn't
them.
even. First of all, I didn't know my grandfather. I didn't even want to go to the funeral. Number one, I had to go out of respect, and my father wasn't close with his father either, so his relationship with his father was also bad.
Right.
It's passed down. It's like
You understand that,
you
Pat?
two
Yeah, I didn't have a good
break the
relationship with his
cycle.
father. I want to break the cycle. Okay?
You understand that, Pat?
Okay? It's passed down. It's like cancer.
I'm not afraid
It
to
really
be told
is.
I'm wrong. I'm not ashamed to be told I'm wrong.
All right.
Because if I'm wrong and learn something, I say, okay.
All right.
I'm not perfect.
Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to have a true 6-week hiatus. Everyone's going to cool out.
And nobody's going to talk about this?
For 6 weeks, you don't have a father, he don't have a son. For 6 weeks.
Father's Day special in June?
In 6 weeks, whatever 6 weeks is, and we come back and we look at it fresh, and I can straighten this thing out. I guarantee you, because I came very close today. Believe me, I did. There was almost a hugging scene. No, there wasn't? All right. All right. When we come back, the girls will be in here. It'll be a whole different kind of thing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
All right. I hope it works out. And Geraldo's a hump. Let me tell you why. Because he said so. Okay. Now, there you go.
Bring in the girls.
How did I do, Robin? Good.
You did okay. You
Thank
did
you.
okay.
Thank you. I mean, for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very tough situation.
You guys go grab lunch. He just left.
Just left it. He walked out.
He's a gentleman. He's upset. He's upset. I wouldn't. If I was you, I wouldn't have done that on Geraldo.
We're all upset.
Between you and me, I wouldn't have done it. The man really wanted to reach out. I mean,
I got to give my side of the story, Howard.
I know.
No one knows what I went through. Okay, nobody really knows what I went through. I want people to know. He had what he had to say on Geraldo.
No.
I said what I had to say.
Okay.
I don't know if Geraldo's the place to do that if you're trying to make up.
Yeah. You've done that already.
Here.
You broke the ice here.
That's true.
Okay.
But you
And I
can't do
figured-
all of your communicating in front of a microphone.
Right.
Yeah, but we can't do it in a restaurant because he's always upstages me and I
There
have
you
nothing
go.
to say.
Well, maybe that's true.
I don't want to be
Maybe you should
upstaged.
have,
I felt that
Robin.
Howard was the media today, and I felt
I will
comfortable.
handle this.
I felt comfortable.
I get through to Pat. Pat and I have a
comfortable.
thing.
Yes,
I
I
felt
see he
comfortable
respects you.
Pat listens to me.
Yeah.
Michael Pat listens to me.
I'm glad.
I'm going to be doing some work behind the scenes that you don't even know about for the next 6 weeks. I'm like Kissinger.
I'm telling you.
When I walk to the conference table,
This is tough.
Gary, you don't understand. So you might as well just forget about it. What I do is 6 weeks will go by, and I will be in the process, negotiating
You'll
process.
work this out.
And I will bring everyone to the table. There'll be certain things already understood by the time
I see.
we come to the table.
Okay.
Just kissing myself. Too bad your father isn't like Gary's father. His father just sells ice cream. Well,
and stays at home.
And stays at home.
We love each other like morons.
Like only morons can. All right, listen, it's 8:34.
We love each other with ignorance.
They don't know what's going on.
I want to thank you very much.
Michael, listen,
Give me a platform
I want to thank you for one reason. I want to bring you guys together, and I know I can do it.
He's a very difficult man.
All right, listen, everybody just calm down, Robin. I see you're a little upset, sir.
I am.
Michael, I know you're upset.
Thanks.
Old New York. If only in 6 weeks I get your sister and your mother here.
Now, see,
then I could really bring
be a
the whole
miracle worker.
Then that would be something.
I'd like to see that.
I don't think you have a chance.
I understand.
I don't think you have a chance. I'm going to put my father in a cage.
Really?
You'd have to.
It would be the steel
You'd have to put him in a
cage.
cage.
The steel cage
It'd be a whole
in
warrior.
the wrestling
Oh, God.
matches.
So you Nassau Coliseum, one a night.
Oh,
the gross would be at least $500,000. Oh, my God. I'm getting sick. All right, we'll be back right after these words. Thank you, Michael Caputo.
Thank you.
All right.
Who this?
Cash.App, $milkcratemarauder.
Huh?
Venmo, @milkcratemarauder.
You stupid bastard.